You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 what it do, what it do? Good, great, grand morning to y'all wonderful, beautiful people, man. What a weekend of boxing. Oh my goodness, what a weekend of boxing. So you know we got to talk about it. You know, I wasn't really going to go live today. But I said, nah, we got to talk about it, man. Hey. I said, nah, I got to talk about this. It was just too crazy, bro. And crazy in a good way, you know. It's not usually like that, but this time it was crazy for a good way. So we got to bring that weekend review in that morning after, you know what I'm talking about? Some with pain, some with KOs, and some with laughter, you know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man, wonderful people, boys and girls, ladies and lads, brethren and sisters, and hermanos, mi hermanas, kings and queens, and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. A doctor's in the house. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, man. We are here for a wonderful, beautiful Sunday, man. We're going to start the week off right. And why not start it off by talking about some boxing? You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of boxing to talk about, a lot of boxing to cover. So let's get right to it, man. But before we do, we always got to start off with our prayer. So please join me and bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this wonderful Sunday. Thank you for bringing us into this new day, this new week. Hopefully we start off with our best foot forward, and that's to always move towards you, you know, move on a righteous path, give you all the glory. Give you all the praise, and we just ask for your continuous mercies, and we're thankful for all your blessings and your continuous mercies and your continuous forgiveness, Lord. You know, we're always going to mess up, we're always going to misstep, but you always forgive us every time as long as we repent and, you know, and give you the praise that you deserve and humble ourselves. So we ask you that you lead us into this week, not just today, but into this week with a renewed spirit, with love, kindness, and patience too. not just with ourselves, but patience with others and understanding, even when it's most difficult. We thank you, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen. Let's get it, bro. So man, this weekend was crazy, bro. It was a good weekend of boxing. Of course, starting off Friday, we got to put the queens first, man. Ladies first. So one time for the ladies, you know what I'm talking about? Shout out to the ladies, man, doing a thing. And that was on Friday, and then going into Saturday, man, we had the fellas do their thing, man. You know what I'm saying? One time for the fellas, we saw all types of people win. We saw American folks win. We saw English folks win. We seen Irish folks win. I'm talking about all types of nationalities covered. We saw all types of people win, and that's great, for boxing. We mix it up and stuff like that. So, yeah, so let's get right to it, man. What up, Flatbush? So we got first off, before we get into this weekend, man, I want to talk about this. We had Claressa Shields, one time for the ladies. We're gonna start off with the ladies, Claressa Shields, man. Now we're gonna get to Claressa Shields after. We're gonna roll into the Claressa Shields. So first off, on Friday, man, we finally had the trilogy close. The chapters have definitively been closed between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. And a lot of times people compare Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. They say that they're the GOAT, right? Usually when you think of the GOAT, you think of three people. Really, you should only think of one. But of course, you think of Amanda Serrano, and you think about Katie Taylor, and you think about Claressa Shields, right? And so I always thought it was kind of hard to consider Amanda Serrano, who's a very good fighter, a great fighter. But how can you call it a GOAT if she's 0-1 against Katie Taylor? Then she was 0-2 against Katie Taylor, and now she's 0-3. I'm just happy that it finished. I was really rooting for Katie Taylor because I don't want to see that fight again. It's a great fight. Don't get me wrong. It's entertaining. Even the third one, I know a lot of people are complaining about it not having as much intensity as the previous two meetings, or not being as much of a bloodbath. I'm cool with that, bro. I don't watch boxing to necessarily see a bloodbath. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect to see somebody leaking from their eye socket and their ear hole and their mouth. And what I'm saying? I want to see a good boxing competition. Now, a lot of times blood happens, right? That's a logical consequence of the combat, but it doesn't always have to happen for me to be entertained. I thought Katie Taylor and Serrano was good. And I thought the third one with Katie Taylor, she boxed the most beautifully. You know what I'm saying? I thought that she really showed her superior skill in this one. I thought it was the only one that was a clear victory. Like the first one I had Katie Taylor winning, the second one I had Amanda Serrano edging it out, but it could have went both ways. This one, the third one, I don't know how anybody could have this for Amanda Serrano. I thought Katie Taylor clearly won that, and shout out to her. So on the other card, as a co-main, I'm just glad that chapter's over. As a co-main, we had Alicia Baumgartner. She did her thing against a Spanish undefeated contender, first time fighting out of España, you know what I'm saying, Jennifer Miranda. The American champion Alicia Baumgartner held it down. She struggled a bit, and it was kind of surprising, right? Because we thought this was going to be almost like a coming out party, because her last fight against was it Delphine Persoon? I can't remember. It ended kind of ugly, right? Because it stopped a little early because of a head clash. But this time we were expecting that she was going to come out in this I ain't gonna lie, I thought she was gonna stop her, and to be fair, I had no real reason to think that, because I didn't really know Jennifer Miranda, right? Like I said, she never fought outside of Spain, so it's her first time fighting out of Spain. She's undefeated, but I didn't think much of her. But she definitely came to fight, so I want to salute her for it. But still, Alicia Baumgartner, I think she struggled with somebody that she should not necessarily struggled with, like Ja Pataya. I'm not comparing Claudio Squayo to Jennifer Miranda. I think Jennifer Miranda is obviously a better competitor in her portion of the sport in women's boxing, but Claudio Squayo is a relatively unknown, undefeated contender that never fought out of Italy, right? And Ja Pataya made it look like that, so I thought Alicia Baumgartner is going to make it look like that. But then again, too, Bruno Saras was an undefeated Frenchman, never fought out of France, and he did what he did to Jaime Munguia. So you just never know how it goes in boxing. You got to respect it. But like I said, Alicia Baumgartner didn't shine like I thought she would. Shout out to Chantel Cameron. Chantel Cameron beat a very strong contender in Jessica Camara. Chantel Cameron did her thing. That's a trilogy that I always want to see, is between Chantel Cameron and Katie Taylor. That's justified because Chantel Cameron won the first fight. Katie Taylor won the second fight. Some people say Chantel Cameron could have won both of them. You know what I'm talking about? But definitely that's a trilogy that needs to happen if we're going to have a trilogy in the women's division, right? And I'm trying to think, who else am I missing? Shadeja Green and Savannah Marshall. That was an upset. I thought Savannah Marshall was going to win, especially with that point deduction. I still want to see the cards. I want to see the judges' scorecards. I have yet to find it. I know the scores, but I want to see the judges' scorecards round by round. I have not seen it. I think that some of those scorecards are kind of wide, especially considering that there was a point deduction. I don't know how they came to that. I personally had Savannah Marshall winning, but I'm not mad that Shadeja won. You know what I'm saying? One time for the American fighter. I thought Savannah Marshall messed around and got comfortable, and not thought. She actually did get comfortable. She got uncomfortable real quick because Shadeja hit her with a mean one, you know what I'm saying? And you know, Savannah Marshall, she has been in infamously pursuing. She has been an infamous pursuit of Claressa Shields trying to get a rematch. Where I think people exaggerate how close that fight was, but it was a good fight. And I would love to see the rematch, but not anymore because Shadeja Green won. And shout out to Shadeja Green, man. Happy for her. You know, I thought that Savannah Marshall's experience would do her good, and it did until, you know, she got caught. She felt that power for the former D1 basketball player. So there's some other fights on the women's card I know I'm missing. But those are the main ones. Oh no. Shout out to Sharetta Metcalf, the American 40-year-old champion. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the American 40-year-old champion in Sharetta, or former champion in Sharetta Metcalf. We got to show her some love, but she is 40.
Damn.
And
I'm sorry.
the fact that she's 40, I think Shreneka Johnson, the decade junior, the decade younger Shreneka Johnson, an Australian fighter, she surprised me, man. She came out with a lot of tenacity, intensity, and she definitely used her youth to her advantage, and she beat the hell out of Sharetta Metcalf. You know, Sharetta Metcalf, I know she was complaining about the stoppage. I actually thought it was a little premature stoppage, but it didn't look like she had too much of a chance to win. But in a unification fight to determine undisputed, it's really an undisputed fight. I think you give her a chance. The knockdown was controversial in the 4th round. I thought it was a legitimate knockdown because Sharetta Metcalf kind of held on to Sugar Neeks, holding them sugar cheeks. You know what I'm talking about? Chicken Metcalf. I thought that she got beat up. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Shreneka Johnson. What I thought was interesting is that they announced Shreneka Johnson as the first Australian undisputed champion, but I thought that was George Kambosos. So when they said that, they said it multiple times. I'm like, hold on.
What?
How can Shreneka Johnson be the first ever Australian undisputed champion and George Kambosos be undisputed? So somebody lying. So we know Shreneka Johnson is legitimate with her undisputed. So now we have those questions about George Kambosos when people get mad. Hold on, man. You trying to take away credit from George Kambosos. Well, it's not us. I mean, that's what the people are doing. That's what the people are saying. We don't believe you. You need more people. Shout out to Jay-Z and the Takeover. So, you know, George Ferocious Kambosos, I consider him undisputed, but I don't know, man. We got to let the record books actually say what it is, man. Don't forget to smack that like button. Shout out to my guy Clone, man. Big member in the building. What's good, my brother? He said showing her Bumgarner got beat on. Then she changed her mind about fighting Shields too. Yeah, shout out to Cooking with Sir. I don't entertain that fight, man. There's weight classes for a reason. I want to tell people this. I want to make this very clear. And I feel like I can make this the most clear when I put it in terms of the males. Right? So for me to put it in terms of the males, I'm gonna put it like this. Alicia Bumgarner's undisputed. Alicia Bumgarner's undisputed at 130. Right? That's super featherweight or junior lightweight, 130 pounds. Claressa Shields just fought at heavyweight. She's a champion at heavyweight. Unified champion at heavyweight. Right? So that's akin to expecting Shaquille Foster, who's a champion at 130, or Emmanuel Navarrete to go and fight Daniel Dubois at heavyweight or Alexander Usyk. We don't do that, those stupid nonsensical matchups, right? So with the women, it's like, I know we see Alicia Bumgarner as a big star for the women's division, and we see Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano as big stars in the women's division, and we see Claressa Shields as the most accomplished, 2 times Olympic gold medalist, multi-time undisputed and multi-division champion, undefeated. We see her as a big star, so we want to put them together. No, man, we got to respect weight class, you know what I'm saying? Alicia Bumgarner, I think, let's be clear, I think Claressa Shields whoops her. And don't get me wrong, the women tend to fluctuate weight classes a lot more than the men do. But still, that's a gargantuan, gigantic amount of weight, colossal, significant amount of weight to just overcome and just put them in the ring together. Like, we still want to make these fights be sensible and logical, you know what I'm saying? Alicia Bumgarner ain't got no business in the ring with Claressa Shields. Neither does Amanda Serrano, neither does Katie Taylor. You know what I'm saying? The fight that we want to see and should want to see is Alicia Bumgarner versus Amanda Serrano, but we'll see how that goes. You know, those are more logical matchups, right? You know, with Amanda Serrano formerly campaigning at 126. You feel me? So even Katie Taylor, she's at 140 undisputed. So Amanda Serrano's making jumps to go fight her. That's why they fought at catchweight. So we got to respect the division, man. You know, so I'm glad you're right though. Shout out to Sir, he is right. Alicia Bumgarner finally shot down the fight between her and gosh dang Clarissa Shields. They don't need to be calling out Clarissa Shields, but the fact that they call out Clarissa Shields, it should let you know and further prove the point that she is the GOAT or GWOAT. That's why they're calling her out for the clout. They know they can't mess with Clarissa Shields. Not in that squared circle. She's too big. Shout out to my guy Clone, man. He said Shakur looked great, but I don't want to hear nothing about no pillow hands or be born. Facts. I don't want to hear that either. I don't want to hear that either. He said, also, did anyone check on that girl they called Chicken? Yeah, Chicken Metcalf. Shredeka had her looking like a kid at a house party when she was getting her ass whooped by the bullies. Hey, chill out, man. Yeah, shout out to Shredder Metcalf, but she definitely got whooped, man. She definitely got whooped. He said, like the same wheelchair Spence had JJ's and Deha said, good morning. I'm working right now, just like your channel and subscribe, man. Thank you so much, JJ. I appreciate that. Shout out to JJ, man. Yes, don't forget to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel like the sign says right there. We're gonna pull up the chat. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. So I appreciate that. Don't forget to smack that like button. That's free support. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Consider becoming a member like my boy Clone. But if you can't, smack that like button. You know what I'm saying? Smack that like button. Really goes a long way. What up, Lloyd? But yeah, so I think that with the women, man, we got to realize that there's weight classes for a reason, even with men and women divisions. So, but speaking of Clarissa Shields was in the house. You know what I'm saying? She always be supporting the women. And I know she gets a lot of flack for it, but it seems like people like to pick sides. But you know, I'm hearing a lot of things. This is another thing, reason why Clarissa Shields is the GOAT, right? I'm not just saying that off of opinion. I'm saying earned it through merit. Layla Ali was a commentator on the phenomenal all-women's card that was put on by MVP Promotions, headed by Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? Salute to him. But one time for the ladies, man. Bigger shout out to the ladies, man. They all did their thing. They all made weight. They were all professional. They all came to fight. Oh, my goodness. Shout out to the ladies, man. One time for the queens. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Layla Ali was commentating and she was asked about Clarissa Shields because she was talking that talk like she usually does. And I like Layla Ali, but when it comes to Clarissa Shields, I think that she's extra petty and unnecessarily, she's like she's just jealous of Clarissa Shields, right? So she said that she'll take 20 million to fight Clarissa Shields. Layla Ali, better sit your ass down somewhere because you'll get a $20 million ass whooping. I mean, look, Clarissa, you don't want that pressure. Like Clarissa Shields is much more accomplished, and I'm not just speaking off of what I am feeling, not an emotional pick here, right? I'm not aligning with anybody, but Layla Ali is a beast. Don't get me wrong. You know, she did her thing, you know, and she's the daughter of Muhammad Ali, you know, and I love what Layla Ali did. You know, I thought she was good for the sport. She's the ambassador for women's sports. She really opened the door for a lot of people to pay attention to women's sports, women boxing in particular, excuse me. And, you know, she beat, rest in peace, Smoking Joe Frazier's daughter. You know what I'm saying? She beat Gwendolyn O'Neal. And what's the biggest one that everybody thinks of? Christy Martin. You know, she beat Christy Martin. That's great, you know. But Christy Martin was kind of smaller, but it's still, she still won and she still fought her. And she won in decisive fashion. But Clarissa Shields, while Layla Ali has the profile, you know, coming from her daddy, you know, the greatest and stuff like that, Clarissa Shields has it by merit. Clarissa Shields is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. The only person that's an Olympic gold medalist in boxing in America of recent is Andre Ward and Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields did it twice. Clarissa is undisputed in 4 times undisputed in 3 different weight classes. Let me say that again. She's 4 times undisputed in 3 different weight classes. I mean, she was undisputed in 3 different weight classes, and then in one class she was undisputed twice. And now she's a heavyweight champion. Clarissa Shields is much more accomplished, much more decorated as far as accolades and achievements go, you know. So we got to put respect on Clarissa, and we got to put it in perspective. You know, I think that if she gets the $20 million, that's cool. But we're going to see a Mike Tyson and Jake Paul type of situation, with Jake Paul being much better than what he is in Clarissa Shields, because Clarissa Shields will play the Jake Paul version, but a much better version of Jake Paul. And then Layla Ali, to be fair, I think that she'll put up a better fight than Mike Tyson, because she's old, but she's not as old as Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was damn near 60, you know, almost a geriatric. So it'll be a little bit more competitive for a little bit, but I think Clarissa Shields I think that she would stop Layla Ali, to be honest. But if Layla Ali wants to do it, then go ahead and get it. But to me, that's just another indication. People aren't in retirement calling out Amanda Serrano. People aren't in retirement calling out Katie Taylor. People aren't in retirement calling out Alicia Bumgarner. So you got to respect that, man. People that aren't even in Clarissa Shields' weight class, aren't even realistic combatants, aren't even realistic opponents, aren't even active opponents, you know, retired fighters, are calling out Clarissa Shields, because she is the GOAT, bro. So we got to call it what it is. Whether you like her or not, that's different. Remove your emotions out of it. I don't like Teofimo Lopez, but I would never say that he's not a champion. I would never say that he's not the longest reigning champion at 140. Yeah, he said some racist stuff and all that stuff, but I could separate the two. I don't like him from what I see as a person and how he portrays himself, you know. But as far as him being a boxer, he's a pretty good boxer. You know what I'm saying? So we got to separate the emotions, man. You don't have to like somebody to recognize their accomplishments and greatness. They're not in the business of being liked. They're in the business of beating ass. You know what I'm saying? And Clarissa Shields does that very well. So, but speaking of that, man, that's why I said Clarissa Shields is the GOAT, because I'm seeing a lot of people talk about Amanda Serrano being the GOAT. How can you be the GOAT if you're Amanda Serrano and you're 0-3 against Katie Taylor? I still see people saying that she's robbed. She got robbed 3 times. Well, she out here walking around like free money. Then you get robbed 3 times. You got to check on your person. You got to go get your homies, man. You can't be out here letting your people let your GOAT get robbed 3 times in broad daylight, bareface, with no mask on. Katie Taylor done robbed her 3 times. Like, let's be real, man. Let's be honest, man. Katie Taylor is a better fighter. It is what it is. She proved that. So Amanda Serrano, she is removed out the GOAT conversation definitively. Now let's go to Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor is a very great fighter, undisputed as well. You know what I'm saying? She's dope, you know, but she does have some controversial decision wins over Amanda Serrano. And that's cool. It's controversial, but she still won, in my opinion. It's controversial. Some people say that she lost a couple of them. Some people say she lost all 3 of them, which is stupid, but that's what they say, right? Clarissa Shields doesn't really have too many controversial decisions. She had a close fight against Hannah Gabriels because she dropped her, but I think that she won. She had a close fight with Savannah Marshall, but I thought she clearly won, right? So, you know, you have Katie Taylor, who, by the way, lost to Chantel Cameron. So, to me, you can't be the GOAT when you have somebody out there that's been chasing a trilogy for some years. Chantel Cameron is the only trilogy that we should want to see from a merit standpoint, from a logical standpoint, outside of being obsessed with these superficial titles. If you want to go on based on competition in the ring, Chantel Cameron and Katie Taylor is the only trilogy that we should be demanding and excited for, because Chantel Cameron beat Katie Taylor the first time clearly. The second time it was debatable, right? There's another controversial victory. Some people had Chantel Cameron winning. I was cool with Katie Taylor winning. Could have went either way, in my opinion. I would have been cool with Chantel Cameron winning both fights, but, you know, I thought Katie Taylor could have won the second fight. But that's the one where they're 1-1, and they're both in the same division. And Katie Taylor, every single time they bring up Chantel Cameron, Katie Taylor finds a way to put her down, and effectively, she's ducking her. So how can you be the GOAT? How can you be the greatest woman of all time? You ducking the smoke. Case in point, they asked her about Chantel Cameron. Now, granted, I don't like when people ask. Katie Taylor just beat Amanda Serrano, just closed the book on a 3-chapter story between her and Amanda Serrano. Give her time to celebrate. But, you know, media doesn't. We move on to the next immediately. So they asked her, oh, what about Chantel Cameron? And she said, oh, what about Chantel Cameron? She said that Chantel Cameron has to worry about selling out a venue. Chantel Cameron needs to sell out a venue.
What?
What the freak does selling out a venue have to do with Chantel Cameron kicking your ass the first time and y'all having a very close fight the second time? This is what Katie Taylor said. Katie Taylor says Chantel Cameron has to worry about selling out a 1,000-seat venue, and she feels like she made Chantel Cameron a lot of money that she didn't necessarily deserve. Are we talking about boxing, or we talk about banking? We talk about competition or being somebody's financial advisor? What are we talking about? What does that got to do with her kicking your ass the first time and you beating her the second time, and y'all should have a trilogy? Like, that's the thing, right? We allow this, though. We allow this because we would say stupid stuff like, oh, she's not the biggest name, so, you know, she's not good. Or they are the biggest name, so that means that they're the best. Ryan Garcia is a beneficiary of this nonsense. Ryan Garcia just headlined a card with Devin Haney on it, who's the youngest ever undisputed male champion in the 4-belt era. He headlined a card where he was in Teofimo's backyard, where Teofimo is a current WBO 140 pound division reigning champion. Ryan Garcia headlined the card where Jose Carlos Ramirez was on there, as well as being a former Olympian and a former unified champion. And he was the front of the bill over Rolly Romero, who was a former champion. And Ryan Garcia has never been a champion. Ever been a champion. His best win is Luke Campbell or Oscar Duarte. But yet he was the headliner coming off a suspension for popping dirty with PED drugs. Not to mention his racism that he habitually expressed blatantly in front of everybody. But he was still headlining the card because he's popular on Instagram. So now when we have a fight that should happen, it's okay. It is justifiable to say, oh, I don't want to fight her because she's not known. Well, she's known for kicking your ass the first time. Imagine if Clarissa Shields lost to somebody and she got it back barely, and then they were calling her out. What would people say? Would people allow Clarissa Shields to be like, oh no, I don't want to fight her again because she doesn't make any money? We'll make her some money then. Fight together and make her some money. It's crazy to me, bro. So in my opinion, there's no way that Katie Taylor, you can't be the GOAT if you're ducking somebody. Now, next up, I hear Alicia Bumgarner. Some people saying she's the GOAT. She is undisputed. Shout out to her. Undisputed at 130-pound division. Super featherweight. Dope. But she struggled with Jennifer Miranda. Struggled with the person that nobody heard of. Yes, she was undefeated, but she never fought out of her country of Spain. You know, so people are going to make it seem like Jennifer Miranda was better than what she was. I think that she has an awkward style. Alicia Bumgarner did her thing, but she can't be the GOAT struggling with Jennifer Miranda, you know. Not to mention she has 1 L, and that's okay because she got it back. She avenged it. But you just can't be the GOAT over Clarissa Shields. So that's what I'm saying. I think that Clarissa Shields is definitively the GOAT. That's what Friday proved. I don't want to hear nothing of it. Now, if Clarissa Shields messes around and loses to Lanny Daniels, then we might have another conversation. But right now, that conversation is closed. Definitively put a stamp on it. Clarissa Shields is the GOAT. I done knocked my camera off. Clarissa Shields is definitively the GOAT from this point on. And it's not even an argument, not even a discussion. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Clarissa Shields is the GOAT. I don't want to hear nothing else about it because if you try to argue that, it just means that you're uneducated on the boxing topic that you are attempting to discuss. And I'm gonna put you in your place. Shout out to my guy Monique Johnson in the building. Or I say my guy because that's my family right there, man. Y'all be cool to Monique. I'll kick you out. You know what I'm saying? That's really my my nephew right there. But you know, shout out to him. You better be rude to little nephew. You know what I'm talking about? Big nephew, I should say. You know what I'm telling you? Shout out to Monique Johnson 94 says Edgar is only a good 10-round fighter. She got robbed wearing those big ass J's she had on with no grips. He said facts, being robbed 3 times is crazy word. Thank you, Cooker. Thank you, Cooker with sir. Amanda was throwing air punches, throwing nothing. She was out there shadow boxing. You feel me? We got Oster in the building, big member in the building. Yes, sir, man. Yeah. So, shot. Like I said, I like Ryan Garcia. I picked Ryan Garcia to beat Devin Haney. But let's start rewarding merit. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishments. Let's not just give out free sauce. You know what I'm saying? Free accolades or free achievements. You know, especially when they don't prove themselves to be good people. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna catapult people up to stardom, at least let's try to make sure they're good people. You know, and Ryan Garcia hasn't demonstrated any of that. Plus, he's a cheater, so we don't rock with them cheaters around here. You feel me? We don't rock with them cheaters, do we? No, sir.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
We got Vin in the building. What's good? Yes. So now let's talk about this. Now let's move on, man. Let's move on to the headline of last night. HAMZAH SHEERAZ, man. HAMZAH SHEERAZ whoop some ass. Edgar Berlanga, man. Edgar Berlanga, where was this at, Edgar? We needed you to dodge the punches. Edgar, where was this at, bro? We needed to see this last night. Where was that at, man? We need you to twerk something in the corner. Twerk some pause. We gonna pause that. Don't twerk nothing in the corner. But I'm saying we need you to shake something. We gonna pause that too. But you get what I'm saying?
No, did it?
We need you to shake something, bro. You ain't shaking nothing last night, man. And I'm gonna be honest, bro. You know, I had Berlanga winning, but I'll be real. You know me. I like to be very objective. I like Berlanga though. That's my guy. He's funny, man. And I just wish he would be better. But you know, I can't say I didn't see this coming, that this was a possibility. I definitely said SHEERAZ is a better boxer. Whatever you're the better boxer, then you got to lean towards a better boxer. But I did make an emotionally driven selection, and I was going with Berlanga because I like him, which is rare that I do that. But I thought that his power was going to be enough to check HAMZAH SHEERAZ. And I'm gonna be honest, man, I don't think I was too far off. What I think what happened with with Edgar Berlanga, he did not stay true to himself, man. We got to stop that, bro. You got to know who you are. You are not about, why are you trying to outbox Berlanga, bro? That's not why I thought you would knock him out. I thought you would knock him out because you would go in there recklessly. And because you tasted Canelo's power, you're going to be like, bet this dude ain't got nothing for me. And if he does, I could take a couple shots to deliver one. So similarly to what Subriel Matias was doing with Alberto Puello. Subriel Matias was willing to take a couple shots to deliver one. That's how Edgar Berlanga should have approached it. And let's be real, right? Berlanga, I gave Berlanga the second round. The first round could have went either way, but you know, I gave it to SHEERAZ. The second round I gave to Berlanga. The third and the fourth I gave to SHEERAZ. Of course, the fourth when he knocked him down twice. But it's like, bro, Berlanga, like he even rocked him. If you go, he ain't rock him like, oh, he wasn't like, you know, but he did a little stanking leg. You know, he did a half a stanking leg when Berlanga hit him with a right hand. And I don't know why he didn't jump on him. He tried to play it smart. That's not your game, bro. You out here twerking when you're supposed to be training, and you coming out here trying to outbox SHEERAZ? No, you're supposed to run through him. And this is why I love, and not to sound, not trying to pat myself on the back, but I do watch a lot of boxing. I consume a lot of boxing, right? And when I make an assessment, bro, I make it objectively, and I do it based off of what I've seen, you know what I'm saying, the evidence that I collected, right? And I love when I hear people say the same thing. Terrence Bud Crawford, whether you like him or not, pound for pound, #1 in my opinion. You know, 1, 2, or 3 though between him, Usyk, and Inoue. They both are phenomenal fighters, both undisputed in 2 different weight classes that have the distinction of being undisputed while doing it. So whatever order you want to put them in, they're interchangeable to me. But for me, Bud is #1. But Bud said the same thing. He picked Berlanga too, and he was like, "I just saw this morning. There's nothing I knew before." He was like, "Yeah, I was disappointed in Berlanga because I thought Berlanga, who got to him, was gonna jump on him. I didn't think he was gonna outbox him because he said, hey, if he outboxes him, then it's gonna be a long night, and that's what Berlanga did, you know, or a short night. But you know, so it is what it is, man. But yeah, Berlanga, I just thought he went out there with the wrong game plan. It is what it is. KD is beating a 7-time division while Clarissa is beating 40-year-old soccer moms. Yeah, Emil, you're a dummy. Shut up. yeah, he's still stuck on Clarissa Shields. KD is beating a 7-time division champion while Clarissa is beating soccer moms. Yeah, you don't know shit about boxing. So yeah, you dumb as hell. Yeah, because so look, check me out, chat. He's saying that. Guess how old Katie is. So if Amanda Serrano would beat Katie Taylor, who's 39 years old or 40, I wonder if he would call her a 40-year-old soccer mom. Oh, by the way, Shredda Metcalf, who Shaneka just beat, was 40. So it's different in the divisions, right? It's different between the women's divisions, right? And because Clarissa Shields' last opponent was 40, who he has no clue about, he just knows that she's 40. He's talking about Danielle Perkins. He doesn't know her name. He just knows that she's 40. So all of a sudden, everybody Clarissa Shields beat is 40, including in the Olympics. So Savannah Marshall is 40 as well. Franson Cruz, who's a champion right now, who Clarissa Shields also beat, I guess she's 40 as well, huh? Yeah, exactly.
You dumbass.
Yeah, shut up. Matter of fact, we gonna put you on timeout because you dumb. It's not because you have a different opinion. It's because you have a illogical, unfactual, erroneous, stupid ass opinion. That's why we're gonna put you in timeout. Yeah, we gonna make you sit down for 30 minutes. Your dumb ass. We excommunicate dummies around here. Stupid ass. I love when dummies be dummies, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's because everybody Katie Taylor fought is young, and you know, Amanda Serrano, she didn't just fight Stevie Morgan not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, of course. Hey, bro, he has no clue what he's talking about. He's an idiot. We excommunicate idiots around here. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to you, but thank you for the letting me go on a little tirade. I appreciate that. I had to check you and put you in your stupid ass place. It's okay to be dumb, but you got to know you're dumb. You know what I'm saying? We lions around here. We don't let gazelles go to the water hole and feel like they lions. It's my job to let a gazelle know that he's a gazelle. So it's my job as an intelligent young brother to let you know that you a dumb little brother. His name is Mule for a reason. You're as dumb as a mule. Your stupid ass. But anyway, let's keep it going. Shout out to Sheeraz. I let it slide the first time, clone. I saw his message the first time. I tried to ignore it. But since he wanted to get my attention, you got my attention now. There you go. You incompetent, idiotic piece of shit. You stupid as hell. Let's keep it going, man. I guess Shields MMA opponents before. Yeah. He has no clue what he's talking about. So she was in the Olympics getting gold medals 2 times. Yeah, she was fighting older folks too. Yeah. You know, Shadeja Green gets credit for being Savannah Marshall, but Clarissa Shields, who beat her first, gets no credit, right? Yeah, Hannah Gabriels is also 40, you know? Yeah. The man has no clue what he's talking about, bro. That's okay. We don't expect dummies to be smart, you know? We allow dummies to be dumb, but he's going to be dumb. We'll allow him to be dumb again in 30 minutes. So, yeah, we'll see, man. But shout out to Berlanga. My guy Oster says, Doc, I told you when he said I fought Canelo, I knew he was losing. Doc, why you don't believe me now? I told you he was getting beat up. Nah, bro, it's different, man. Like, that's the thing about, you know, I think people are gonna bro, Katie Taylor, yeah, Katie Taylor, Alicia, that's good. That would be a good fight. I would lean towards Katie Taylor. I would have Katie Taylor beat. Katie Taylor's great. Don't get it twisted. Katie Taylor is a beast. She's not the GOAT. You can't take an L to Chantel Cameron and not want the trilogy and be a GOAT. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I do have Katie Taylor being Amanda Serrano. There's nothing, Alicia Baumgartner. There's nothing wrong with putting Katie Taylor behind Clarissa Shields. But it's when you have idiots like that who have no clue what they're talking about. All they know is Clarissa Shields, Amanda Serrano, and Katie Taylor, and they have the audacity to have a stupid ass opinion. Then you have to check them and put them in a spot. You know what I'm saying? And their spot is the kiddie table with the rest of the idiots. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is, man. I ain't got nothing against having a different opinion. Katie Taylor's a monster. She's definitely one of the best women fighters ever. She's just not better than Clarissa Shields. There's no problem. There's no. It's like when you have the LeBron and Michael Jordan discussion, and you pick LeBron over Jordan, people act like it's terrible. You know, I pick Jordan over LeBron, but being behind LeBron is not a bad thing, and being behind Jordan is not a bad thing. you know. But when people come up and try to make it seem like you have no reason to put Jordan above LeBron, or you have no reason to put LeBron over Jordan, then that means that just shows that you're just an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. You know, just say that you like this person and you don't like this person. You know what I'm saying? It's like Tank and Shakur, which we'll get into now. I think Tank and Shakur is a very good debate, you know. But if you're saying that Shakur has no reason to be in the discussion with Tank, then that just means that you just like Tank too much. And if you think that Tank has no reason to be in the discussion of Shakur, you just like Shakur too much, you know. But we talk about real boxing over here. We don't talk about made up fairy tales, you know what I'm saying? Because your panties get wet for gosh dang Katie Taylor, and it doesn't get wet for Clarissa Shields. So and you take Kobe over the way, nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Kobe. But yeah, man, so Sheeraz, man, I think that, like I said, I think Edgar Berlanga tried to be who he wasn't, and we see that all the time. And Sheeraz coming up from 160, I thought Berlanga was gonna show him that this is the big boys over here, man. So, you know, I'm not mad at, I don't want to take anything from HAMZAH SHEERAZ. It's definitely his best win, but let's be honest too. Like Oster said, this is the part I agree with Oster. Edgar Berlanga is a guy that celebrated his loss with a victory lap at a motorcade parade in Puerto Rico because he lost to Cinnamon. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cinnamon, is a legend. That's personally my favorite fighter. You know what I'm saying? Definitely my top 3 favorite fighters right now. For me, it's number 1, Cinnamon. Number 2 is Gervonta Tank Davis. And number 3 is Junto Nakatani. For me personally, is my 3 top favorite fighters, right? So Cinnamon is a legend to me. All-time great. So Berlanga being an up-and-coming guy, him having some sort of reverence for Canelo is good. I expect it and I respect it. But he had too much. Like, you don't celebrate a loss. This is not a participation sport, right? This is a hardcore sport, man. Now, don't get me wrong. I get that he's excited that he didn't get knocked out, but I thought that he was too happy. So I agree with Oster. The part I disagree with is that is an accomplishment. It's not an accomplishment that you outwardly come out with and be like, oh yeah, you know, I went 12 rounds of Cinnamon. No, but it is something that you put in the back of your mind and be like, okay, bet I belong. It's supposed to reinforce you and motivate you and rededicate you to the sport and galvanize not only your self-belief, but also your team's belief in you. Because if you can go 12 rounds with the legend, even though you lose, you don't get knocked smooth out. That means that, okay, bet I can hold on to the fact that, hey man, I didn't just get embarrassed out there. But Edgar Berlanga was making it seem like it was a victory party, because you could tell that he thought he belonged, because once again, he got caught up in the money and the compensation. That was his biggest payday. That's everybody's biggest payday, because Canelo's the face of boxing. But you cannot confuse that, a payday, with hanging with guys because you're actually at the top. Sheeraz is a guy that's dedicated to the sport, and you could tell by his approach. He may not be the best. I'm still not convinced, but I got to give him the credit for beating Berlanga. And the reason why I'm not convinced is because, like Oster said, Berlanga, his resume is lacking from a personnel standpoint. His last win was Jonathan Mantequilla Gonzalez, and his Mantequilla in Spanish means butter. And if you go look at Jonathan Gonzalez's body, it looks like melted butter, literally. You know what I'm saying? So that was a great nickname. Whoever called him Mantequilla, salute to you. That was a great one. You know what I'm saying? That was a perfect assessment. And then his win before that, his best win is probably Predrag McCrory, who he knocked out, right? Before that. So, you know, before Canelo, excuse me. And that's what really got him the Canelo fight. He was on a phenomenal streak of 16 wins via 16 first-round knockouts, and the 17th fight was his 17th round of boxing, which is phenomenal, whether he was fighting trash cans or not. But I think that Berlanga is a beneficiary, early beneficiary of top-ranked matchmaking. I think that's a testament to how good the matchmaking was for Berlanga, more so than it was a testament to how good Berlanga actually is. You see what I'm saying? And so, but he got confused because he was being spoon-fed, and that's the problem that you have, right? Because when you spoon-fed and you have superior matchmaking and you make somebody look like they're some monster, but then when they actually step up in a higher caliber of competition and their knockouts don't only slow down, but they stop completely, that's a problem. So Berlanga never really got groomed he was groomed, but he wasn't groomed in a manner that would make him be successful, that would translate to success. And now it's a problem, because now he went from fighting guys that are easy and built for him to look good, and then he stepped up significantly. That's why I think Abdullah Mason and Top Rank is so good, because you could tell that Abdullah Mason is not just satisfied with winning. You could tell that, because at the end of the day, it's boxer, right? So you have matchmakers like Bob Arum, who's great at it. Frank Warren, I got to give him his credit for Queensberry's great at matchmaking. You could tell that they'll be like, okay, bet, you know, they're going to make the fights. But at the end of the day, the boxer and his team have to approve. Like, okay, bet, yeah, I'll fight him. So you could tell that Abdullah Mason, while he's having fights back to back to back to back, he is steadily increasing in his career development and that's indicative by seeing his competition increase as well. Berlanga didn't do that. He went from but to great. You know, he was fighting ass, butt, ass, booty, ass, cheeks, great. You know what I'm saying? All that was ass, booty, ass, butt, cheeks. And then he jumped up to Canelo. And then he thought because he didn't get knocked down and obliterated by Canelo, which he did get knocked down, but he didn't get put to sleep night. It wasn't Nightmare in New York. You know, he wasn't that type of knockout, right? I know they didn't fight in New York, but I'm just saying. So that he got confused, that he thought that, okay, bet, you know, if Canelo can't knock me out, nobody can. It don't work like that, brother. It don't work like that, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because just like right now with stupid ass DAZN commentators, you know, it's their fault. It's not the casual fans' fault. It's the commentary, because they say dumb shit like that, right? They're going to say, oh, yeah, HAMZAH SHEERAZ belongs in the ring with Canelo because he did something Canelo couldn't do. He knocked out Berlanga. Doesn't that sound familiar? When Munguia knocked out Jonathan Ryder, Gorilla Ryder, right? When Munguia knocked out John Gorilla Ryder, what did they say? Oh, Munguia did something that Canelo couldn't do. He knocked out John Ryder because Canelo went the distance, and he knocked out Ryder, so they thought that Munguia was ready for Canelo. And then we fast forward, and not only did Munguia get whooped by Canelo, he got knocked out by Bruno Serraz. Yeah. And then so now they're going to do the same thing with HAMZAH SHEERAZ. I mean, it's Bruno Serraz. Munguia went the distance with Canelo. Bruno Serraz knocked out Munguia. So now they said that Bruno Serraz was ready for Canelo. But then he took the rematch. Shout out to him. Big respect. He took the rematch with Munguia and got cheated by that cheater, Jaime Munguia, when he was popped for PEDs.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
So it's just like, you know, you got to think about stuff like that, man. And so this is right up their alley. This is what they do. So if you stop somebody that somebody beats, then all of us, it's like, I mean, even Floyd Kid Austin Schofield, right? They're trying to put him clearly over Zepeda because Zepeda went the distance with Tevin Farber, and then Schofield knocked him out of a round. These are great victories. Don't get me wrong. I'm not diminishing the victories, but styles make fights, and you could tell that Canelo cruises in his fights. You know what I'm saying? So the famous triangle theory. Talk to him, Tat. So yeah, so I think Sheeraz is rightfully so. He's going to be the beneficiary of it. Well, not rightfully, but I will say traditionally so, right? Historically so. Sheeraz is going to be the beneficiary of that same expectation of him to be falsely, erroneously put up there above or with Canelo because he beat somebody that Canelo beat, and he beat him in a better fashion, you know. And it just doesn't work like that. It's like people thought that when after Floyd Mayweather beat Ricky Hitman Hatton in 10 rounds, took him 10 rounds to do it, they thought because Pacquiao knocked out Ricky Hatton in 2 rounds, he beat him faster, that he was going to beat Floyd. We saw what happened. Another case in point, when Floyd beat Miguel Cotto, when Pacquiao beat Miguel Cotto and Floyd beat Miguel Cotto, they thought Pacquiao did it better, so they thought that was another reassurance that Pacquiao was going to beat Floyd. And they were both wrong, right? Styles make fights, you know what I'm saying? So styles make fights. So Floyd domination looks different than a Pacquiao domination, you know what I'm saying? So in my personal opinion, would I be mad at HAMZAH SHEERAZ fighting Canelo? No, I'm not mad at it, because I know the false pretense that stupid ass DAZN commentators emphasize, and then casuals eat it up, you know? It's the fact that SHEERAZ beat Berlanga, but then you'll tell me that Berlanga didn't beat anybody, so he gets no credit for beating Berlanga, but then he gets enough credit to where he justifies him fighting Cinnamon. In my personal opinion, I think he should fight somebody like Christian and Billy. That makes more logical sense. HAMZAH SHEERAZ versus Christian and Billy. You forgot about Billy? What about HAMZAH SHEERAZ versus Diego Pacheco? Assuming Diego Pacheco beats Trevor McCumbee. You forgot about Pacheco? What about Ozzy Iglesias? Assuming he wins his next fight. What about HAMZAH SHEERAZ and Ozzy Iglesias? I think Ozzy Iglesias beats Sheeraz. I think Billy beats Sheeraz. And I think Pacheco beats Sheeraz. But we're going to throw Sheeraz in with Canelo. And Canelo's going to beat the hell out of Sheeraz. It is what it is, man. Get your money. I ain't mad. But we going to see it. Canelo's on my list until the steroids. I'm not mad at that, Tat. I'm not mad at that. You know, Canelo did cheat. He had the clenbuterol on his system. But the thing for me, and I'm not talking for you, but what's good enough for me is the same thing that was good enough for Alicia Bumgarner that I apply. You know, I don't like the fact that they tested positive, but they tested positive during training, and they didn't test positive the night of the fight, like a bum ass Ryan Garcia, like a bum ass Jaime Munguia, like a bum ass Francisco Rodriguez, like a bum ass Conor Benn, like a bum ass Jarrell Big Baby Miller, like a bum ass Dennis McCann, you know, like a bum ass Imam Katayev. They didn't test positive for the night of the fight, and not only that, they actually took it to court and fought it through the judicial system, and they stuck to their original story, and they proved that they did it on accident. It was cross-contamination. So I do think that accidents happen. I know it looks very suspicious for Cinnamon, especially with the Reynoso camp and No Boxing, No Life. All these fighters that have been affiliated with Reynoso have been popping dirty. So if anybody is suspicious of Canelo, how could I tell you no? I mean, you're going off of the clues and the evidence that you're seeing. So I can't disagree with you. But for me, it's like, you know, if you take it to court and you prove it through the judicial system, I'm cool with this. I'm cool with that. So he said, Mama Schofield's son went and got sick note to exactly talk to him, cooking with sir. You know, I like Kid Austin, but his pops is trash. I ain't gonna lie, his pops is trash, man. You can't be blaming people for drugging and making your son sick.
Know your fucking place, trash.
I do like Kid Austin, but I don't like his pops. I think he's actually one of the bad pops, you know. So yeah, so shout out to Sheeraz though, man. I don't want to take anything away from him. Shout out to my brother Oscar in the building. Big Oscar in the building. He said Thomas Taylor is one of the best refs, but his crave for spotlight getting annoying at this point. You know, hey, I feel that. He said Freud's 4 usage suspect as hell. Oh, Floyd's IV. I thought you were speaking of Roman numerals. I read Freud's. I thought you were saying like steroids and 4. I thought you were saying like gosh dang Roman numerals. You're saying I don't know if you're saying Floyd Schofield's IV usage, or are you talking about, I don't know what Floyd you talking about, because you know Floyd Mayweather had a IV usage scandal. You know, that's the thing. You know, it's up to you. You know, I believe it. I don't waste my time with conspiracies, man. I look at boxing a lot. There's a lot of information out there. I don't need to waste my time with conspiracies. I go with the facts. So if you pop dirty, you pop dirty. If you don't, then you don't. I don't care about what coulda, shoulda, or what coulda, woulda, or shoulda been. I'll go off what is. You know, there's a lot of people that like to speculate if this person's cheating and they never had a negative test. I mean, never had a positive test. But the people who have positive tests, they try to say that the positive test was fraudulent. I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? I go with facts. I'll let everybody else worry about the conspiracies and conspire with all these nonsense stories. Like I said, for me, it's one thing to test dirty, but then it's another thing to prove your innocence, of course. So that's good enough for me as far as Canelo and Alicia Baumgartner. But if some people want to call them cheaters as well, they're not innocent of not having it in their system. They're just, for me, they were innocent of not intentionally ingesting or taking the steroid. So those are two different things. He said, okay, I appreciate that, Tat. His pop is his pops is SD. It's crazy. But yeah, so shout out to Sheeraz. I don't want to take any credit away from him. Canelo said he wants to fight in London next, and assuming he gets by Terrence Bud Crawford, which I think he does. Shout out to Bud. Bud is a phenomenal fighter, all-time great. A living legend. He doesn't have to fight anymore. He's already in the Hall of Fame. Same with Canelo, right? So this fight, they don't have to fight each other, but since they are fighting each other, I have to pick somebody, and I'm going with Cinnamon. Not because I like him, but because I think that the size disparity is going to be too much for Bud to overcome. So I'm picking Canelo. But that doesn't mean that I don't think that Bud can't beat him. But so if Canelo beats Bud, like I think is going to happen, Canelo has 67 fights. At that point, he'll have 68. If he wants to go fight Sheeraz in London, like you said, go fight him, my brother. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? He said, you know, according to reports, is that the next opponent for Canelo could be either Sheeraz or Chris Eubank Jr. In my opinion, what would be the proper procedure if you're gonna make him fight one of those two? Let Chris Eubank Jr. and Sheeraz fight each other like they were in discussions before, and then let that winner get Canelo. I'll be cool with that. But I ain't trying to. I don't know who would you rather see, Chris Eubank and Canelo, or HAMZAH SHEERAZ and Canelo? To me, it doesn't really matter. I would say HAMZAH SHEERAZ is a little more interesting just because of the size dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Him being 6'5" or whatever, so that's gonna be a little bit more interesting right there. But 6'3", excuse me, 6'3". That's a little more interesting right there. But either way, I think Canelo beats both of them. So at least let him work for it a little bit. I mean, his best win outside of Berlanga, HAMZAH SHEERAZ's best win is who? Tyler Denny. He definitely didn't beat Adames. He should really have an L on his name. You know, Carlos Adames beat him, and shout out to Carlos Adames. That win looks better, or what should have been a win looks much better too. So, and Edgar Berlanga's best win is his loss to Canelo. His best win probably portraying McCrory, man. So, yeah, I just think that neither one of them deserve it. But hey, I'm cool with it, man. But yeah, we'll see if Canelo gets past Bud though. But speaking of Bud, chat, I want to show y'all this. Speaking of Budrick, I want to show y'all this, man. And this is what I be talking about, chat. I know sometimes I know some of y'all fans. We're all fans, right? We all have preferences, you know. But I think that we should find a way to try to at least keep it objective. And I love when I hear fighters that I respect and people that are boxing aficionados, whether they're in the participation, in the capacity of a participant, or the capacity of a contributor, you know what I'm saying, analyst, whatever. I love when I hear them say the same shit that I say. So we were watching William Zepeda yesterday and Shakur Stevenson, right? And I said this, bro. People say, "Oh, Doc, you tripping? You can't have, you know, Zepeda. Shakur was clearly winning." Yes, he was clearly winning for us because we have the vantage point of a camera that's moving around, giving us different angles and letting us see the fight at the best angle and viewpoint possible. When you're a judge in boxing, you don't have that advantageous perspective or viewpoint. You know, you have to sit on the side of the ring, different places, right? So in different places, your viewpoint may look different. You might have a different perspective of what's actually transpiring in the ring that we'll get on the TV screen. So when I tell people that when Shakur was going from post to post to post and ropes to ropes to ropes, don't be confused if some people thought Zepeda was winning because of his aggression or his ring generalship or him pushing the pace. Because if I'm looking from behind, if Zepeda is punching this way and Shakur is blocking this way and I'm a judge sitting over here, then it may look, all I see is Zepeda swinging. I don't see that the punches are necessarily being ineffective. So I might confuse that and interpret that as Zepeda applying pressure on Shakur. He can't punch back because he's not punching back, even though he's missing. So I said that don't be surprised if a lot of judges think that that fight was closer to what it was. And this is what Terrence Crawford said, and this is the advice he gave to Shakur Stevenson. Look, check it out here. Hopefully I don't get a copyright for this. This is just for review purposes. So let's check it out.
Into how he performed tonight.
Let's go back a little bit.
A performance that people have been asking for, but nobody was expecting. What's your reaction to how he performed tonight?
Marvelous. Only thing I didn't like, that he was standing on the ropes too long.
He said, only thing he said, it was a marvelous performance by Shakur, which I agree 1,000%. He said, the only thing I didn't like was that he was standing on the ropes too long. He's going to elaborate. Watch.
Now, when I saw him on the ropes, I thought he was downloading what Zepeda was doing. It seemed like he was slipping punches and not really taking shots. What did you think?
So Radio Raheem said, I thought he was downloading information. I thought basically he's saying he thought that Shakur was comfortable. You know why he thought that? Because he has the Jumbotron that he's looking at, or wherever where he was. Maybe he's in a room and they have a monitor. He's looking at it like we're looking at it. Look what Terrence Crawford says.
He was, but at the same time, he was getting hit with little shots that he shouldn't have been getting hit with. And it looked good to the judges.
It looked good to the Bumbaclot judges. It looked good. Let me run that back again. It looks good to the judges, chat. And this is what I said yesterday. People disagree with me in the chat. Run it back.
Hit with little shots that he shouldn't have been getting hit with. And it looked good to the judges, you know, especially keeping somebody on the ropes and, you know, hitting them with the little shots, pressuring them, you know, it just don't look good.
It don't look good, chat. And what he's talking about is that the vantage point that you have. So yes, those shots weren't looking close, but look, let's think about Floyd and Maidana. I didn't think that fight was as close as some people think it is, because I thought a lot of shots that Maidana was throwing were inaccurate and therefore ineffective, and he was missing a lot. But if you have a certain vantage point from a judge and all you see is one guy throwing like this and the other guy going like this or going like this, and he's not throwing nothing back in retaliation, you may think that the pressure is effective and the aggression is effective, no matter how reckless it may actually be in reality. So that's what he's saying, and that's what I was saying yesterday. So I think that that fight was, it wasn't close. I thought it was a dominant victory by Zepeda, by Shakur. But rounds 1 through 5, I had Zepeda winning 4 rounds to 1. I gave the first round to Zepeda. I gave the second round to Shakur. I gave the third, the fourth, and the fifth round to Zepeda. Because yes, it may not have been as effective, but his work rate has to count for something, especially if Shakur's throwing punches sporadically in between and they're not doing anything significant either. You see what I'm saying? And the fact that, you know, let's be honest, Zepeda, when your back is against the ropes, even if you're comfortable there, you don't want to be there, right? That's not an advantageous position. Even if you are doing the rope or dope like Muhammad Ali, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be against the ropes. Zepeda was walking him along the ropes, you know what I'm saying? So we got to give Zepeda credit. And this is why I think that the win was so great, because I recognize what Zepeda was doing, and I know that how it could be misinterpreted by the judges. That Shakur still did his thing, and he did not run. He fought a fight that he didn't have to fight, and he still adapted to his opponent to try to be more fan-friendly, because these dumbass fans don't appreciate boxing. They just want to see rock'em sock'em boppers or power slap, or you know what I'm saying? So he fought a whole different style, and he was still dominating, man. So shout out to Shakur Stevenson. I personally believe this was a great win in the 135 pound division, lightweight. And yeah, I just think that not only that though, I think that Terrence Bud Crawford also gave us a hint on how he will fight Canelo. He said, yeah, you shouldn't be on the ropes. He said you should take less punishment, take less hits. I think Terrence Crawford just gave us a hint on how he's going to approach the Canelo fight. And I think that's his best chance, is to not trade with him. But knowing Bud in his 41 previous fights, he usually likes to show that he's a bigger dog, and I think that's what's going to get him in trouble. But if he decides to outbox Canelo, that's going to make it very, very interesting, and I think that's his best way to win. So I want to go to Shakur, man. Is Shakur the best at the lightweight division right now? I don't mind it, man, because I like to give people their credit, man. So I'm going to say yes. If you think Shakur is hold on, let me pull out my GTD chain. Hold on. First, before I say this, let me pull out my GTD chain. And if anybody disagrees, call in on the show, man. Let me know how you feel. You know what I'm saying? I love hearing people's opinions when you're coming at it from a place of actual dialogue and thought, not just from a place of hate, or just you're just trying to be a contrarian just to be a contrarian and you don't know what you're talking about. If you have an opinion and you want to share it, please call in and I'd love to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I love to hear different. We don't have to be in concurrence. We could disagree and I'll let you talk. You know what I'm saying? It's not one of those things where it's an open debate unless you want it to be a debate. You know, whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with. But I will say this though. Oster says an emphatic yes. Oster ain't even watched the fight. I'm playing, Oster. Don't whip me, Oster. I'm just joking. But yeah, if anybody thinks Shakur Stevenson is the best today, I'm cool with it. Because, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the lightweight champions right now, 135 is Raymond Murataya. He got that vacant title that was released by Lomachenko due to retirement, right? And he beat Zaur Abduliev that already lost to Devin Haney. Raymond Murataya is the current IBF champion. That wasn't an impressive victory either. It was a nice victory, but it wasn't impressive, right? So then who else? We have the WBO is vacated by Keyshawn Davis. Even if it wasn't vacated by Keyshawn Davis, his win over Denis Berinchyk was okay. His win over Gustavo Limos was okay. We'll see what Sam Noakes and Abdullah Mason do to determine who gets the WBO title, but I don't think that'll put him over the performance with Shakur, no matter who wins, right? And they're still young. They're still a little green. And then, of course, we talk about the big dog, Gervonta Tank Davis. Let's be honest, right? His win against Frank Martin was great. The Ghost Martin, undefeated guy who beat Artem Hartunian, a former Olympian that Shakur Stevenson he beat too, but he was basically fighting Frank Martin scraps, you know, or Tank scraps. You know how people like to say that stupid stuff, but I think Frank Martin was the best win up until now. I think Zepeda, and then not to mention Tank, even though Lamont Roach is a champion that you should respect, he was a guy coming up from 130, right? Even though he fought a lot of fights, in fact, he fought more fights than Tank Davis did at 135. Lamont Roach still seen as a guy coming up, even though he's a champion, because people disregard things like championships and stuff, right? So Lamont Roach, I don't think is a big problem because they have a familiarity with each other back in the day and stuff like that, stemming from amateurs. I don't think struggling with him is bad, but it's definitely not good, right? So a draw is not good. So I would say that Shakur is doing what he's the only one that's really doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? He stopped Padley, even though short notice, he still stopped him. He just made Zepeda look like light work, right? I mean, he struggled how he was supposed to struggle because Zepeda's a good fighter. And I think Zepeda being the former undisputed mandatory, you know, saying #1 contender in all 4 sanctioned bodies before, that's a good win, man. So if somebody wants to say that Shakur is a #1, then it is what it is. Why we keep bringing up Frank Martin? Because Frank Martin's a good opponent, bro. That's the thing. That's the thing about some of y'all, man. Y'all be so biased, bro. What you mean? Why you bringing up Frank Martin? Frank Martin's a damn good opponent. Frank Martin beat Michelle Rivera. I know you don't watch the fights. Frank Martin beat Artem Hartunian when he was undefeated. Frank Martin was undefeated himself. Frank Martin beat Michelle Rivera, who's another contender. Frank Martin's a great win. If Shakur beat Frank Martin, you would be, oh man, Frank Martin, that's such a good win. But because Tank beats Frank Martin, you don't like Tank. It shows that you're incapable of objectively judging fighters, bro. And accomplishment. Frank Martin's a great win for anybody. In fact, Frank Martin was the highest ranked opponent out of Shakur and Artem Hartunian, out of Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, out of Teofimo and Steve Claggett. Frank Martin was ranked higher than Steve Claggett. Frank Martin was ranked higher than Ryan Garcia. Frank Martin was ranked higher than Artem Hartunian. That's a great win. Just like Zepeda is a great win, and I think Zepeda is a better win. But you can't tell me that Frank Martin's not a good win. You can't tell me that Hector Garcia is not a good win. Hector Luis Garcia, bringing up or not, that's a great win. You know what's so funny to me? People like, you know, shot. I think it was Kendrick yesterday, and I don't want to put words in people's mouths. I like them to have them defend themselves. But it's just so funny. Like, I let people talk, and I just break it down. You know what I'm saying? I just think about what they're saying. Somehow, some way, people try to make it seem like Gervonta Tank Davis. This is what y'all were trying to say yesterday. Yo, shout out to Southwest Dice. Shout out, you said, I like Tank. No, you don't. No, you don't. Shout out to Oster. Frank Martin was on the same level as Zepeda with Tank. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you, Oscar. Drop a bomb on him, Oscar. Thank you. what I'm saying is this, and shout out to my guy Oster. I love when he stirs the pot. That's my brother, man. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy. I got love for Oster, man. I like this. I like this because it challenges me. It makes me think on my feet, right? So let me tell you about Tank, right? Somehow, some way, this is how y'all tried to flip it yesterday. Y'all make it seem like people will do this, right? I'm not speaking on anything yesterday. That's in the past. People will make it seem like Tank has fought people and he somehow took advantage of them. I've never seen this in my life, right? Why do we say Canelo was a great win for Floyd? Because Canelo went on and did things after losing, right? Which is indicative of somebody, anybody, being on the come up and being a good fighter. If you beat somebody and they go down, yes, you get credit for that because it's like, okay, bet you changed the trajectory of their career. You made them get worse, right? And they couldn't recover from your beating. But it also could mean that maybe they weren't that good in the first place. However, if you beat somebody and then they go on and become a champion still, especially in another division, then that means that those people were good. But somehow some people are going to try to flip it to make it seem like he was beating on people that were too young or they weren't at their peak. Did Esau Pitbull Cruz get better since losing the Tank? I think he probably improved a bit, but it wasn't a substantial amount. I mean, you could ask Jose Rayo Valenzuela about that. But he still became a champion. Rolly Romero, did he get that much better? I mean, I think he got good. I think he improved in little places, but you could argue that Rolly kind of got worse. And he's still, even the worst Rolly Romero since losing the Tank, was still able to become a champion. Mario Barrios, he went on and became a champion. He's still a champion right now in a higher division at 147. Shakur has nobody that he's beaten that has become a champion. And like I said, I don't want to say that because I don't want to take away Shakur's shine right now. He deserves it. Like I said, if you want to call him the best lightweight right now, I'm cool. I disagree, but I'm cool with it. But it's not a knock to beat somebody and have them go on and do great things. You could say Jamel Herring. I think Jamel Herring was a great win, but Jamel Herring wasn't undefeated when he lost to Shakur. So my point is this: if you're gonna say that, oh, Tank doesn't get any credit for beating guys for becoming the champ because he beat them when they were at a part where they were somehow not at their peak or underdeveloped, well, what was Jamel Herring if he had 2 losses? Was he at his peak? I mean, he already lost twice. Champion or not, are you at your peak if you have 2 losses? So to me, I think the clear best win on Shakur's resume is Oscar Valdez. And I would even say, I think Jamel Herring's a great win as well. But I would even say, I think people forget about Joet Gonzalez. That was another undefeated contender. I'm not saying Joet Gonzalez is the best, but at the time that he beat him, I thought that was a great win. I think Jamel Herring's a great win too. I'm not saying you have to be undefeated to be great wins. I actually think William Zepeda is the best win out of all of his contemporaries, even Tank, you know, right now. But let's not get it twisted. When you beat somebody and they go on and do better, that is a boost to your resume. So right now, Berlanga getting knocked out by Sheeraz, that's a knock on Cinnamon's resume because now that win doesn't look that good as it did before. And same with Roman Villa. Roman Villa just got stopped and mollywopped by whoever he got stopped and mollywopped by. I can't remember. Castro. That no longer looks as good on Boots' resume, right? That win no longer looks as good. That's a natural progression of things. Even the Munguia, when Munguia got mollywopped, stopped, dropped, and rolled and folded up by Bruno Soares, that doesn't look as good on Cinnamon's resume. It is what it is. But if Jermell Charlo comes back and becomes the same Jermell Charlo that he was and gets a title or gets undisputed, reclaims undisputed, that's a great win on Canelo's resume. And if Jaime Munguia would have went on and he still could come back with his PD popping ass, if he comes on and does good things, that's a great win for Canelo. So it's like I've never seen people try to flip the script like that. Like somehow guys that go on and become champions. If Frank Martin becomes a champion after losing the Tank, that's a great win for Tank. That's even better. And if Zepeda goes on and becomes a champion and he doesn't have a severe collapse of his career, that's a great win for even better. Oh, but for Tank, though, Mario Barrios going on to being a champion don't mean nothing. Esau Pitbull Cruz and Rolly Romero going on to be champions don't mean nothing. Bro, stop it, bro. Frank, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. That's the hate speaking, bro. That's the hate, bro. Mario Barrios, I think, was his best win in my opinion. I'm not mad at that. He said, I can't go by that because you only good as your last game. I disagree with that at all. I mean, you don't build a legacy off of one fight. I mean, that's what Berlanga tried to do, and we see what he did, you know. So no, I disagree with that. You're only as good as your last game. Sometimes your last game in boxing could be two years apart. I disagree with that. It's your body of work. You know what I'm saying? Floyd's not the best because he beat Oscar. He's not the best because he beat Maidana. He's not the best because he beat Canelo. He's not the best because he beat Zab Judah. He's not the best because he beat Sugar Shane Mosley. He's the best because he beat all the motherfuckers at the same time. I mean, not the same time, but you get what I'm saying? He beat all of them collectively. He beat them and he beat others. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I disagree with that. Canelo's not the best in the face of boxing because he beat Billy Joe Saunders. He's not the best in the face of boxing because he beat Caleb Plant, because he beat Austin No Doubt Trout, because he beat Miguel Cotto. No, but because he beat all of them. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I disagree with that. Like, but then again, to each his own. You know, some people will give up on somebody when they lose. Not me. I don't think so. Like, to me, when Errol Spence lost to Terrence Bud Crawford, he's still a Hall of Famer, bona fide. He was still unified, and nobody else beat him besides Terrence Bud Crawford. You know, where's the shame in that? Tyson Fury, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Gypsy King of Obesity. He's still the top heavyweight, in my opinion. I don't care how many times Alexander Usyk beats him, because only Alexander Usyk beat him, you know. But to each his own, though, you know. But yeah, I don't agree with that, especially in boxing, because somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. Sometimes you get a draw, of course, but you know, most common, you know, what occurs most commonly is that somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. I don't think losing, coming up short, means that you're bad. It just means that person just happened to be better, you know. Don't forget to smack that like button. Are the phone lines open? Yeah, you can call in. So Berlanga get a title fight after this loss? You only good as your last game? Nah, Berlanga should not get a title. Who said that? Why would Berlanga get a title fight after this loss? He have to build himself back up. Of course. No one said that you jump in I didn't say that losing doesn't mean anything. I said that you're not only as good as your last fight. I disagree with that. Because so Canelo was a bad fighter when he lost to Bivol? Or did he just lose to a better fighter in Bivol? Is Tevin Farmer a bad fighter now because he lost to Schofield? I don't think he's a bad fighter. He may not be as good as we thought, but is he a bad fighter? Maybe. I mean, maybe that's a bad example because he got obliterated and knocked out, but I don't think so. I mean, I know you do. I know you said that Caleb Plant is trash now because he lost to Resendez. I disagree with that. I just think he lost to somebody that was better that night. You know what I'm saying? If Caleb Plant and Resendez fought again, I guarantee you that the majority of people that are saying Caleb Plant is trash, I guarantee that the majority of people would pick Caleb Plant to win again. Yeah, no, I disagree with that. Is Amanda Serrano trash now because she lost to Katie Taylor? She's not trash. I think she's clearly worse than Katie Taylor, but is she trash now? I don't know. That's pretty wild, bro. That's pretty wild. Tank gonna break that boy Shakur. Yeah, I mean, or is Tank had a draw with Lamont Roach? Is he trash now? I know some people will say that, and you know, hopefully they're speaking in hyperbole and being hyperbolic. But if they're being literal, then hey, I mean, to each his own, man. I mean, that means there can only be one or two good boxers at a time. I mean, what are we talking about, bro? Like, that's crazy. But yeah, man. So anyway, so I think that Shakur could be considered the best. I'm not mad at that. I just disagree. And when people say that Shakur has a better resume, I emphatically disagree. And I will say this, you know, like I said, everything I said, you know, he fought more champions. Even if you want to say he brought him up, he fought Leo Santa Cruz. That could be Shakur's best win on his resume. Mario Barrios could be Shakur's best win on his resume. Hector Luis Garcia might not be his best, but that could be a very good win on Shakur's resume. You know, these are the guys that Tank is beating. Jose Sniper Pedraza would probably be the best win on Shakur's resume, right? So like these are all on Tank's resume, and not to mention that Isaac Pitbull Cruz has became a champion. But speaking about Isaac Pitbull Cruz, chat, I'm gonna tell you why. Another reason why Tank's resume is the best. When have you ever heard about Tank trying to fight Devin Haney's old opponents? Or Tank trying to fight Teofimo's old opponents, or Gervonta trying to fight Shakur's old opponents? How many times do we see them try to fight Gervonta's shadows? I'll wait. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney tried to fight Ryan Garcia when? After Tank beat him. I wonder why. Because they want to have a comparison with Tank, just like we see what they do with HAMZAH SHEERAZ. Oh, HAMZAH SHEERAZ stopped Berlanga, so Canelo didn't do it, so that must be a good win. He needs to fight Canelo, so that's why they do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's indicative and a testament to his resume being better and him being the bigger boxer, of course. You know, but that has nothing to do with it. I mean, it has something to do with it. But Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney had amateur static. They had static with each other since the amateurs. So if you want to be real about it, why did he fight? Why did he wait till Ryan fought Tank to fight him? They could have been fought. But because if you beat Ryan Garcia and if you beat him better than Tank did, then people will have that conversation about comparing Tank to Devin Haney. What about Mario Barrios? Devin Haney was targeting Mario Barrios next before he lost to Ryan Garcia. Y'all remember that, right? That's another guy that Tank beat. I didn't see Tank target Jorge Linares. I didn't see Tank target whoever else that George Kambosos. Now, I did see Tank target Lomachenko, but that's because Lomachenko was a champion, right? He became a champion again, which was a boost to Devin Haney's resume. We could all agree on that, right? Go back to what I said about Tank. But anyway, what about Gamboa? Tank wasn't the first to beat Gamboa. That would be Terrence Crawford, but we saw Devin Haney fight Gamboa after Tank did. You think that's a coincidence? What about Lamont Roach right now? Who wants to fight Lamont Roach? Shakur Stevenson. I don't hear Tank calling out Joette Gonzalez or Jamel Herring or Oscar Valdez. Shakur wants to fight Lamont Roach, and he's still fighting Tank right now. Oh, what about Issa Pitbull Cruz? Shakur also tried to fight Issa Pitbull Cruz after Tank beat him. So when people say that, oh, this person, when we talk about resumes, yeah, I think that you could make an argument for Shakur because Shakur is a 3-division champion. And if you want to talk about Tank, Tank's a 3-division champion too. But if you don't like regular championships, which that's cool, then he's a 2-division champion because his fight against Mario Barrios was a regular championship belt, right? It wasn't a super. And so Shakur is definitively 126, 130, 135. Full super champions. That's cool. If you want to put him over that, that's cool. But if you're going to call Rolly Romero a champion right now, then that means you do respect regular championships. You just don't respect it from fighters that you don't like. If you're going to call Manny Pacquiao, who I call Manny Pacquiao an 8-division champion, but if you call Manny Pacquiao an 8-division champion, well, then you have to recognize that a couple of those belts were interim belts, IBO belts, and regular belts. So then that means that you have to recognize Gervonta's 3-division championship too. Oh, but we're being fair, right? It's hard to be objective, right? It's hard to be consistent when you're an inconsistent, biased mother. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? It's real easy to be consistent when you're somebody like me, but it's hard. It's hard to be consistent and objective when you start talking. You feel me? Because if you don't count certain people's regular belts because you don't like them, then you have to apply the same energy, at least to be consistent for the sake of consistency, right? Right, but it's difficult, right? When you're biased and partial and and an inconsistent mother lover, it gets difficult, right? Yeah, I know. I don't know personally because I'm very consistent, but I could imagine. I could imagine how tough it is. And shout out to Strangeness. So what's on the prescription list today? Yeah, man, a lot. The whole weekend, baby. The whole weekend. He said, nah, Tank 2, Manuel 6. He said, nah, I know Ryan was ducking Devin for years, brother. Come on, man. Come on, Southwest Dice. Come on, man. Shout out to my guy, Southwest Dice. But yeah, I'm not saying, but that's the thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. What I'm saying, and even if you disagree, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about it. But my point is, the point that I'm saying is that people chase the shadows of greatness. So even if you don't like Tank or you don't like Floyd or you don't like Canelo, you got to at least acknowledge that there's a reason why people are chasing their opponents, because they want to get the comparisons. They want to get put in that mix. And Shakur deserves to. He don't need to do it, but that's a way, that's a method. We see it right now in real time with Sheeraz. What are we talking about? We see that people want Sheeraz to fight Canelo. Why? Because he beat a common opponent with Canelo in a better fashion, which he did. I don't know why I put air quotes, because he literally beat him in a better fashion, but that's what it's for. That's why Sheeraz and Berlanga. Why you think Turkey made Sheeraz and Berlanga out the blue? You think that was a coincidence? You don't think these guys look a few steps ahead? You don't think they plan? He's literally an event planner. It's so funny that we disrespect people, like we don't appreciate people's prowess and their skill set. We're so disrespectful and nonchalant about people. Like, bro, people plan, bro. It wasn't Berlanga. Nobody was anticipating Berlanga versus Sheeraz, but they knew if Sheeraz could beat Berlanga, that would justify or galvanize their pursuit. That'll galvanize the interest, increase interest. It will create interest, and then it'll galvanize Sheeraz's fan base and his belief in himself, and it'll make people intrigued by the eventual matchup between Sheeraz and Canelo. Why? Because Sheeraz just obliterated Berlanga, and Canelo also beat Berlanga, but he didn't destroy him. Why do you think Munguia fought John Ryder? He fought John Ryder so he could eventually get the Canelo fight. What are we talking about, bro? This is how boxing works. Why do you think Pacquiao fought Ricky Hatton? It's the same thing with Shakur wanting to fight Lamont Roach. Same thing with Devin Haney fighting Ryan Garcia. Same thing with him fighting Barrios. Same thing with Shakur wanting to fight Issa Pitbull Cruz. These guys existed before they fought Tank. Same reason why Keyshawn suddenly wanted to fight Frank Martin. Frank Martin been called out Keyshawn. But when Tank beats Frank Martin and you want Tank, okay, bet I'll fight Frank Mao. Because now, if I really want Tank, that'll make people really want it more. Duh. I don't know, bro. I was like, I don't know if people are new to boxing. I'm not new. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. You know what I'm talking about? So we might think that, yes, boxing is very chaotic. It's a chaotic space. It's a very fragmented space. But there is a little bit of method to some people's madness. And there's a little bit of protocol that is followed somewhat. You see what I'm saying? It's not as definitive as like a NBA association, you know what I'm saying, National Basketball Association or a league of football, you know, where you know if you beat this team, you go to the playoffs, you beat this team, you go to the championship. It's not like that in a direct line, but there is some type of method. And we see it all the time, bro. What are we talking about, man? I appreciate the entertainment from the Edgar. We need more people who, yeah, bro. Hey, man, hey, man, we got to retire this, man. Shout out to Edgar Berlanga, man. Why, bro, Anubis, am I tripping, Anubis? Why do you think Nick Ball is fighting TJ Doheny? Because he wants Naoya Inoue. You think that's a coincidence? Well, you see it all the time. Bro, I could go on for 30 minutes on you brothers. Like, you may not notice it, but when I say these things, bro, please don't think that I'm coming from a biased, subjective step. No, I'm being as objective as possible. I can literally give you the documentation. We see it all the time. You may not realize it, but we see it all the time, bro. Naoya Inoue is being pursued by Nick Ball. Nick Ball just fought TJ Doheny because now they have a common opponent. And next up, he wants to fight a former would have been, should have been, could have been opponent in Sam Goodman of Naoya Inoue. Because he wants Naoya Inoue. He's not fighting Rafael Espinosa's former opponent. He's not trying to fight what's the dude's name? Robisi Ramirez, because Espinosa fought him. He's not trying to fight Robisi Ramirez because El Divino Espinosa fought him. He's not trying to fight Carlos Castro because Stephen Fulton fought him. He's not trying to fight Tomoki Kamada because Angelo Leo fought him. He's trying to fight TJ Doheny and Sam Goodman because Inoue fought TJ Doheny, the former, and he was supposed to fight the latter in Sam Goodman because he's trying to set up the freaking fight. So how can you tell me that Nick Ball, so basically, let me bring it back full circle. So you telling me that Shakur or anybody else has a better resume than Tank? That's like telling me Nick Ball has a better resume than the guy he's chasing in Naoya Inoue. That's like telling me HAMZAH SHEERAZ has a better resume than the guy he's chasing in Canelo. That's a reason why they're trying to fight former opponents of Gervonta, because his resume's better. Mic drop on your ass. Now we gonna open up. Now we gonna open up the calls, man. Mic drop on your ass. I know, Oster. I know, I'm good. I know, I'm good. Damn, I'm good. I know. Y'all ain't see where I was going initially. Oh yeah, but you see what I did there. Oh yeah, I know. Damn, I know. This is why y'all rock with me. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. When the hell you ever see Floyd Mayweather chase somebody's former opponent? What are we doing? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Shout out to my guy. Shout out to my brother Oscar in the building, man. Talk to me, bro.
Yo.
My brother.
Man.
Nah. I need more energy than that, man. You still sound sleepy, man. What's up, Oscar? What's good? My brother, my partner, my player, my pal, man. Mi hermano carnal, man. What's going on, Oscar? Talk to me, bro. Tell me something good, man. How the babies, man? How your family,
I'm at
man?
work.
Yeah, work? Oh, damn.
I'm at work. Yeah, that's what I'm talking a little bit low.
Nah, you good. That's all right. I'm going to turn up for you. I'm going to bring the energy on your behalf. What's good,
All
though,
right.
bro? Appreciate you calling in, number one.
Yeah, man. It's just, I don't get what, even resumes are pretty much even, accolades wise. I mean, I don't count interim, as you know, but
Yep. But you're consistent. I respect it.
But I think accolades, Shakur takes it. Personnel, I think Tank takes it.
Yep.
I think people forgetting that Frank Martin was on the same level as Zepeda when Tank fought him. He was unknown. So, but here's the consistency where I have a problem with the consistency, because then they say, oh, well, he wasn't really known. Okay. So, but then like whenever other people, when Tank fights a guy with the name, then they're like, oh, he was a plant. So what is it?
Right.
But nah, it's just number one, number two. Who cares? We know they're the best in the division right now. 135 is ass.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of the a lot of people left 135. It's Shakur Tank than everybody else. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see a unification fight unless it's Tank and Shakur, but I wouldn't like Tank and Martaya. I don't think that's fair.
Mm-mm.
I mean, not that it's not fair. It's just like I don't want to see it. I know Tank is gonna. He should be the favorite, and I think it'll be 80-10 that Tank's gonna take it. 80-20 that Shakur just boxes around Martaya. Same with Mason and nope. It's like who wants to see Tank or Shakur against Mason or no? You know what I mean? So it's not like it's saying anything. It's just 135 to ask. Now, don't get me wrong. There's good fighters. It's just there's no personnel behind it. Everybody done grew out the division, done move on, and they're still there. We're just waiting for that fight to happen. I don't get it.
Yep.
But-
I'm with you on that.
But yeah, man.
No, I'm with you on that, bro. I think you explained it well. It's like, yeah, Abdullah Mason, and while and like I said, there's no disrespect to Sam Noakes or Abdullah Mason, but they're just not there yet, And yeah, and I agree with you with an accolade standpoint because Shakur is a legitimate 3-division champion, But this notion that like
And unified. And unified.
Yep. But this notion that we don't understand. Like it's just a clear cut. I don't think it's a clear cut, and if it isn't clear cut, it will be in favor of Gervonta, in my personal opinion. Because
I agree with that.
yeah, so I think that there's a now. Granted, I know like we just talked about in regards to Ryan, right, or even like an AJ. I don't want to put AJ in the same. That's disrespectful as Ryan, but my point is that I know that just because you're the biggest revenue generator doesn't always translate to you being the best. A lot of times it does though. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why people want to see Gervonta, but it's not as clear as like a Canelo or a Floyd or AJ. Maybe AJ's debatable because he's been losing a lot lately, but it's just like we got to acknowledge that these guys, you don't get given anything, man. I don't care if you American, Mexican, English, some people's roads to greatness is easier than others, a little bit relative to others, but it's all difficult, man. It ain't nothing given, man. So if somebody is big, a lot of times, not all the time, not 100%, but a lot of times it's because they earned it, you know what I'm saying? And Canelo is one of them, and AJ, like you'd be like, okay, AJ's losing now, but AJ, you could argue that English heavyweights was dead until AJ, and AJ's a former Olympian, like, you know what I'm saying? So people will look at, okay, bet where you at now when I started watching boxing, but you got to put some respect on people's name, man. So I think that while Gervonta, I think, like I said, I'm cool with you saying Shakur is the best right now. Hey, I think this win is the best win, but if you want to get to the nitty gritty about it, Shakur, for better for worse, he does have an issue with the quote unquote entertainment side, which I hate. I think that's trash. But there's reasons why people aren't really too intrigued because there's guys he doesn't have a lead. Whether you like Leo Santa Cruz or respect Leo Santa Cruz or you want to see smaller, that may be true. But Leo Santa Cruz was that guy. You know what I'm saying? And the way Tank stopped him is what really catapulted. I know we say, okay, yeah, he's with Floyd. That's what catapulted him. Well, Richardson Hitchens was with Floyd too, right? He had to leave Floyd because he didn't get no buzz, right? So there's been people with Floyd that did not take off. In fact, you could argue that more people did not take off. You could argue that Floyd is not a good manager because of all the people that failed with under his watch. So Gervonta doing his thing is not just as coincidental or just as easy explained as, oh yeah, he's with Floyd. But that's how people who don't like people would say, no, if Shakur was knocking out people. And now, granted, he doesn't fight like that. But I'm saying, but these are things that why people are attracted to him because he does. Gervonta does that to Pedraza, Barrios, Santa Cruz, or whoever else. Now Shakur, man, this win is phenomenal, man. I can't.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
I think it's a great win, and the way he did it, but stylistically, it's not as. No, this one was great, but I'm talking about before, like other ones, people just don't, what sits in their mind wrongly. So is the De Los Santos, and outside of this draw, you don't really think of Tank and sour performances like that. You just don't, what I'm saying? Even if he does struggle with Rolly, he eventually gets him out of there. If he struggles with Barrios, he eventually gets him out of there. Now Pitbull, but even then people were excited because Pitbull was bringing that heat, and
Yeah, but he was a replacement. I don't give a whole lot of weight to that pick. Well, I still recognize it as a win. I just don't give it a whole lot of weight.
I'm not mad at
Given
that.
it was a replacement, and the fact that I think if with the full camp, it would have been a better fight. It would have been a wider fight
No, I agree.
than what it was.
I agree.
But no, like Shakur, he's got good wins, like your main Herring. So like, if people are gonna tell me Lil was on the downhill because he already had losses, then Jermaine Harris, he had a loss, so that means he wasn't at his peak. Because that was the argument, right?
Yep.
So Jermaine Herring, one of his best wins,
Yep.
couldn't compete there.
I agree.
So I don't know. I just want fairness. But like I said, if you say Tank lost points because he draw with Roach, given they didn't count the knockdown, but that's on the refs. That's not really on the fighters. And Shakur's great performance against Zepeda, I'm cool with it. I mean,
I'm cool with it too.
Again, it's just the worst division. If Shakur goes up and fights anybody at 140 with the name and beats them, hey, now there's a conversation. It got to depend on who, though.
Right.
Because right now, I just lean towards Tank. He's got the personnel. Like Pedraza. Pedraza was her do or die move, remember?
Yes.
Either you fight him or you're going to get shelved.
Right. That's the best win on. If like I said,
but
if that was on Shakur's resume or I don't know who else, that'd be his best win.
Yeah. Like I said, to me, I go by body of work. I know Ty yesterday said he went by accolades. I go by accolades too, but you have to include the body of work. You know what I mean? I go by a little bit of both.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I think you go by a mixture, I think.
Yeah, it's you have to recognize then that, okay, this guy's not going for the title, but who is he fighting? Frank Martin with the best win before Zepeda.
Come on now.
But like I said, it's 135. 135 is the worst division. There's no movement. Now it seems like they're starting to be, but I don't really. Like outside of Tank and Shakur, I don't really care for that division right now.
I think that I like the division, but I do agree the stagnation is a little too much. But I'm hoping that Abdullah Mason or Sam Noakes will bring some energy to it, or I'm gonna give Raymond Murataya a chance. I know people are ready to be disappointed with. That's the thing, bro. People are just so ready to be disappointed. It's like, give the man a chance. The man just won the title. He just got fully elevated, bro. It's like you already talk about. I'm not you. I'm just you in general. People are already talking about. Oh man, he's not gonna fight Eddie Cruz. So what? So what, bro? The man just got elevated, bro. If you know the IBF rules, which I'm not advocating for everybody to read them shits, they're boring, but he has 9 to 12 months, 9 months to a year to fight the guy that is his mandatory Andy Cruz. He does not have to fight him next. So if you want to go and take a voluntary defense, so what? Now, what he does after that, then we can bestow judgment, you know what I'm saying? But be patient, man. Guys, dang. Like, people be wanting these guys to fight back-to-back warriors, and then when they get smoked, like Tevin Farmer, they throw him away and say they trash. Bro, Tevin Farmer was on a hell of a run, bro. He fought Raymond Murataya, Zepeda twice, and then he fought Schofield. That's crazy. Now, he took all else, which is crazy too. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? There's no soft touches, bro. There's no soft touches.
No, and like, let's be honest. If we're truly honest, it feels like 135 is lingering around. It's kind of what's happening with Canelo at 168. It's Canelo and then everybody else. Here's Tank, Shakur, and everybody else.
Yep, I agree with that.
I think it'd be a fire division if Tank and Shakur weren't there. Like, if they move up, I think 135 is a great division.
But
given the fact that they're still there and they're clearly number 1 and number 2, they're levels away above from everybody. Their body is just perfect for that weight class. It holds up the division.
See, I agree with you, but I'm gonna add a little bit of my perspective to it. It's not that I disagree, but I think Canelo is, and no disrespect to Shakur or Tank, I think Canelo is. I agree with you. Canelo is like 168. He's at the top clearly. Shakur and Tank are at the top, but I think if Tank is, I don't think they have to leave. If they just fight, I'm cool. If they fight and then you have a clear, because then now it makes it more interesting. Shakur's bounce back. If he stays at 135 and he loses, his bounce back is we have to go through like Mason or have to go through or Noakes, whoever the winner of that, or Murataya, you know what I'm saying? Or if Tank loses, his bounce back will have to go through them. So I think it's more interesting because, and even the winner of Tank or Shakur, now it's like, okay, bet I'd appreciate their reign at 135, but I know a lot of people don't feel like that, but I think you do too. And correct me if I'm wrong. Like I was cool with B Hop's reign at 160. I was cool with Triple G's reign at 168. You know, but you have to, like, the reason why I'm not cool with it is because of what you just said. It's like, and that's why I think Canelo's different, because Canelo did fight the guys. So with Tank and Shakur, if they fight each other, then now it's like, okay, bet you're the best and you're fighting the people and you're stopping people from taking your position. I think that's what Canelo was doing. Outside of Benavidez, I know people are gonna knock him for that, but outside of that, people, he's not only reigning there, but he's stopping people from, when it makes sense for them to come and try to take his position. Tank and Shakur, they're just reigning and they're not. And I'm not blaming Shakur. You know, I would blame Tank more. When you're stopping, when you're there and you're not fighting each other, you're not fighting the best, then you're like stopping other people and you're holding it up. So yeah, I would just add that to it. So if they fight each other, boom, I'm cool, because now we know who's the best, and then you're gonna beat or fight Mason and improve you're the best, or fight Noakes and you solidify that you're the best, fight Murataya. But now it's just,
or
you know,
try to go for a trilogy and like,
or that, yeah.
And then you make time for the other guys to fully acclimate to the division,
right?
Be real challengers,
right?
I'm gonna check this out. This all you that you just gave to me. Yes, Canelo is separate because he cleaned house. There's no debate on it. He fought every other champion. Even he went to 175 to get the title, so he can challenge Billy Joe Saunders.
Right.
You can forget about that, because Billy Joe was ducking, bro. He dug Triple G. That's the only reason Triple G wasn't undisputed.
Come on now.
But yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Tank and Shakur, given the circumstances too, because Shakur, he wanted to fight Loma. They didn't give him Loma.
Yes.
He wanted to fight Haney.
Yes.
So Haney moved up.
Yeah.
So he challenged for the mandatory. He moved up. He said, okay, I'm just going to move up.
Yep.
There's no knock on Haney on that. I don't think anybody's off. It's just what happened.
Yeah.
The Canelo clean house.
Right.
These guys haven't even unified.
Right.
Nothing. That's what makes the difference. That's why I say if they make it a trilogy and they give the other guys a chance to acclimate themselves to like an actual challenger position, I think that'd be better.
Yeah, I agree. And then like I said, that's what undisputed means. That's why, you know, when people don't respect belts, I get it, but you got to respect, in my opinion, you have to respect the champions, especially when they are unifying, especially when they become undisputed, because that's what Naoya Inoue did, and that's what it means. So, you know, like even when Shakur didn't have Naoya Inoue in his top 3, I have no problem with that, you know, because I don't think that's synonymous with saying that he's bad. You know, people hear, oh, you're not in the top 3, so you're saying he's bad. No, he's just saying he's not in his top 3. I also have no problem with that. And he had another undisputed guy. All of his top 3 were undisputed guys: Bivol, Bud, and Usyk. So, but to me, when you're undisputed, even if you don't have the personnel, that kind of supplants that, because that lets me know that you fought everybody. So even if you may not know them because, let's say that they're bantamweight, they're small, or you don't know them because they're at cruiserweight, which is an unknown division, or you don't know them because they're women boxers, whatever it is, you know what undisputed means. It means that I'm the undisputed champion. It means that my championship reign cannot be disputed. You cannot argue about it. If you can't argue it, then that means that you're the best. So I don't really put value in people say that they, to me, when you say that they don't value champions, you go by your eye test, I feel like that means you just don't really pay attention to boxing and you're kind of lazy, and that's your excuse. It sounds good to you.
Yeah. I mean,
you know,
it's a good thing. Like, I go by the eye test so I can see who's good and who's bad, but then don't say somebody is a plant because he's fighting people. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, that's how I feel about that.
Right.
Like, it's cool, go by the eye test. Like, bam, he's a great fighter. We can all see it. But don't tell me he's number 3 pound for pound just because the eye test.
Come on now.
Neither, like, now you can't have your preferences, like accuracy, like Oster was saying yesterday, or, you know. But don't tell me that Zepeda didn't look good because Shakur was letting him punch and just letting him tire out. No, he was putting the pressure on Shakur. Although he was throwing punches and bunches, most of them were ineffective.
Right.
It looked good for the judges. You got to take that into account.
Right. I mean, how many people pass? And that's the thing about the eye test. I mean, and I know people are going to say hindsight 2020, right? But if there was a moment where Berlanga was passing the eye test.
Yeah.
But you got to be, it was William Zepeda. Did he not, outside of it, he's his first time losing, he lost to a champion. A lot of people think, I still think he could become a champion, you know, as long as he doesn't have a severe drop off. He passes the eye test. But
Yeah.
we forget an eye test. We got to see the test. You know what I'm saying? Until you get, there's a lot of people that pass the eye test is what I'm saying. And then what happened? Also, no doubt Trout passed the eye test, and then he ran into Canelo and then Erislandy Lara. So there's people that pass eye tests all the time, but the actual test, which is the championship test, has to mean something as well. So
Yeah.
I can't just go by the. Sometimes your eyes will deceive you.
Now going by the eye test, HAMZAH SHEERAZ, man, come on, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
Is Berlanga getting a Deontay credit? Now, saving the measurements because Deontay was that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But is Berlanga getting that treatment where it's like, oh, he's trash? But Sheeraz beat him. That's great. That's absolutely great.
Man, that's tough because
It is a good win.
it's a good win. Because it would have
But
been a good win for either
that
one.
level of win.
Right.
It would have been a good win, but it's
yeah.
not that level of good win.
It's not that level because, like I said, both of them are unproven. And this is why when people say, oh, I'm going to give you an example. Like when people say, oh, Abdullah Mason and Floyd Schofield should fight now. People say, oh, they shouldn't let it marinate. This is kind of why I like to let things marinate. Because Abdullah Mason beating Schofield right now doesn't mean nothing. Like Berlanga and Sheeraz don't mean nothing because they don't have any accomplishments themselves. Now, if you want to go by the eye test, of course, it means something. But it's like, bro, let them both develop and let them both be closer to what we think is their peak, and then let them fight. Because if it sounds good, but it's cliche and it's unrealistic. In the ideal world, we don't throw away fighters when they lose. But if whoever loses between Schofield and Mason, you're gonna throw them away. Whoever loses between Xander Zayas and who's another young Jonas Tellis, or Xander Zayas and who's another young 154, Charles Conwell. Ain't nobody say nothing about Charles Conwell since he lost.
Martinez.
Come on now. Before we want to see Conwell and Xander's eyes, we want to see Conwell and this guy. And that now no one even says anything about Conwell because he lost to Jorge Garcia Perez. And that's cool, but we can't act like that's not the reality. So Berlanga, Sheeraz, yes, I'm with you. Like, this is a good win because they're both looked as contenders, but who have they beaten? What can we really does a Sheeraz beating Berlanga, does that put him over Pacheco to you?
No.
Does it put him over Mbili to you?
No.
Does it put him over Ozzy Iglesias to you?
No.
Does it definitely don't put him over Canelo? So what are we doing? So
No.
what was that win then? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like it's a good profile. Build your profile. Now you got Frank Warren, old ass, talking about he the king of New York. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Build your profile and stuff like that. It's a good win. But at the same time, it's like, what did it really do? It didn't make me believe in Sheeraz anymore. Like, shout out to him, and he won. And I don't want to disrespect him, but it doesn't make me feel like, oh yeah, man, he's definitely somebody to look out for 168. Nah, I just think he showed me.
I think him and Pacheco's a good fight.
Come on now.
But
and I got Pacheco.
I would like to see him, but you can kind of see that he's used to punching down a lot too.
Okay, now Pacheco tall now. He ain't no little guy.
But I was gonna tell you this. Also, I don't want to hear nothing from Eddie that he can't make a fight happen. That's not an excuse. Because he made Don Smith and Matias happen just like that.
Come on now. You think that's going to happen, though? You believe it?
I don't think so. I don't think Don Smith is soon ready for Matias. I don't even think he's ready for Paro.
I don't think so either. Yeah, Paro, I say, yeah. Yeah, I don't think so either. But, hey, I love it, though, because we going to really see. We going to really see.
And this comes back to where, like, the people being pushed and getting stagnant. Bro, Senator Zayas and Tellis and Garcia Perez, they're in a dangerous position, man. One's an interim champion.
Yep. And Tellis, yep.
And
BBA, yep.
Everybody's gunning for his head, and they're all tough fights. I don't even think he's ready for a bullet shoot.
Yep, me either.
No knock, though. No knock.
Yeah, no knock on him, yeah.
Anybody on the side of the top 10 at 154 can beat you at any day.
Yep.
Zayas, is he ready for a Ramos? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think Lubin.
I think he can win.
Yeah, speaking of Ramos, Lubin, is he ready for Lubin? I mean, maybe. I think he win. I think he can beat both of them. Yeah, I agree. I think he can beat both of them, but I don't think it's an easy victory.
But you don't see him as a favorite.
No. Nope. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. Shout out to him for stepping up. But when is that fighting? That's like in 2 weeks, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's the week after. Yeah, I think it's after the
Bam, right?
Yeah, I think so.
See, man, I'm ready. You coming down?
Man, I don't think I can make it, bro. Got shit going on.
Man.
I know, bro.
Now, I rewatched Puebla Matias this morning. Bro. I get it. You know, the judges don't got the clear point of view,
Yeah.
but I thought Poe won it by 4.
I'm telling you, bro. That's how I scored it. Like you said, by
Honestly,
4. I had an 8-4 Pueblo. I don't know how Pueblo lost.
I had an 8-4 Pueblo.
Oh man. But yeah, man. Shout out to my guy Oscar, man. I didn't get a chance to rewatch it yet. Man. But I'm gonna go ahead and see hit some of these comments in the chat, bro. What you working on today? I know you said yeah, work. What you
Oh, dang, I can't hear you.
So you can't hear me? Yo. I think I lost my guy Oscar, but we gonna chop it up again. Oscar, appreciate you calling in, man. Shout out to my brother, man. But yeah, let's hit some of this chat, man. Sorry about that. We had to get my guy Oscar to give his perspective. I love his perspective. Always calling in, man. Hey, and we gonna start doing awards, chat. I've been thinking about this. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna do it. You know, I'm gonna start doing like, you know, number one the caller of the week or something like that, man. You know, yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing that caller of the week, man. I like that. Yeah, man, we gonna start doing caller of the week, man. Oscar's definitely caller of the week. You know what I'm saying? Ty, caller of the week type shit. Just encourage more people to call. Because you see, I love hearing perspectives, man. Don't think that is... I know some people be scared to debate. I'm not here to try to make you look stupid or dumb. Nah, you know, the other guy that came in earlier, he was just on some goofball stuff. And I like to try to let everybody be heard. So if I let you be heard, at least you could at least do me a service and a solid by, you know, being respectful and being for real, man. You come in here with nonsense and I'm addressing your comment, then you just wasting my time. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna talk trash to you, so I enjoy it. Shout out to my guy Dub, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. He said I'm 5 for 5 and Ty blocked me by accident. What you mean? He blocked you? He blocked you on Discord? What he block you on, man? I'm gonna see if I can fix it if you let me know. That's crazy. He ain't block you on accident. He blocked you on purpose, bro. Hey, shout out to my guy Dub. He said he got Sheeraz, Shakur, Matthias, and Burrell. Shout out to my guy Dub. He said I'm back. Your phone's acting up. Are you good, Oscar? You good? I'm gonna address some of the comments anyway, man. I appreciate your call, bro. Derek Lewis, Extreme K. Bro, I didn't see it, but I heard what he said. Derek Cormier, DC asked him. Who do you want next? And he said he wants his wife for some ground and pound. I said, this man too crazy, bro. That man too explicit, man. TMI, bro. TMI. Talking about he wanted his wife for some ground and pound. I'll be watching a little bit now. I ain't watched the whole fight though now, but y'all check this out. So shout out to Anubis. Anubis asked me a question. He said, Doc, would you be interested in Caleb Plant versus Berlanga? Right now, because they both took L's, I like to see that fight build up a little more. But if they fought right now, I wouldn't be against it because, you know, I was also wanted to see, what's the guy name? I wanted to see Subaru Matias and Gary Anto Russell, especially I wanted to see it before they lost. But then when they both lost, remember they lost to, Gary Anto Russell lost to Alberto Puello and Subaru Matias lost to Liam Parr like within like 2 weeks of each other. So I was like, man, that's still a great fight, you know, and they both lost now. But Edgar Berlanga and Caleb Plant seems a little different, you know. Matias and Gary Anto Russell, when they lost, they didn't look bad. You know what I'm saying? They both lost decision losses. They didn't necessarily look bad. The guys that were fighting just looked better. Alberto Puello just looked better than Gary Anto Russell. Liam Parr just looked better than Super Matias. But Edgar Berlanga looked bad. Caleb Plant looked bad. So I don't know if I want to see two fighters that look bad go against each other just for the sake of the name. So I want to see them bounce back and make me want to watch that fight. So right now, it's not about them losing, but it's the way they lost. They look bad. So nah, I'm not really interested in that fight. But I wouldn't be mad at they fighting though. And said, who do I think would win? I don't know, man, because I would think that since Plant is a better boxer, I would say Plant. I always said Plant, sweet hands. You know, he's one of my favorite fighters to watch, but I just like his demeanor and stuff like that too. So I would lean towards Plant, but if Berlanga could hit him, man, you know, it depends on how Berlanga approaches it afterwards. Like I said, if Berlanga, when he connected on Sheeraz, if he would have went for it instead of trying to box, he would have been good, man. I think so. You know, I think he would have been, I don't know if he would have been good. Let me rephrase that. He would have been better, you know? So, I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. But definitely Sheeraz did his thing. But if Berlanga, I think if he would have rushed him, and I'm not saying be excessively reckless, but you know, just don't lose yourself, bro. If he would have been himself and just approached him like how I feel like he should have approached him, like with some combinations after he cracked him with the right hand and stuff like that, I think it would have behooved him. I'm not saying he would have won, But it definitely would have looked better. You know, follow up on your punches. I feel like he was trying to box. What the hell? You don't fight like that. We got the Indiana Fever versus Dallas Wings. I got to tune in. I got to tune into that, man. So, yeah, man. So I think it's just kind of, it's unfortunate for Berlanga. I think Berlanga is going to be a meme for a while, and he should be, because he was talking a lot of trash. You know, Berlanga was talking he was talking a lot of trash, and he was coming out with the pistols. You know what I'm saying? He had the dual silver ballers, like gosh dang Hitman. Remember Hitman, that game, Agent 47? He came out with the pistol play. He came out with the Tommy gun, letting off 100 rounds. Letting off 100 rounds. And then you out here get binked up, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Dub, you know what made me think about you today, Dub? I was looking on Twitter, and bro, I swear people be. Now, granted, this doesn't mean that they stole it from me. I'm not saying that. But it's just funny, right? I think this is funny. Look what I saw. I swear people be watching my channel, be bucking my shit, dog. And don't be showing me no love, bro. Look at this. Look at this, chat. Oh, I lost it. I didn't like it. Damn it. And I can't find it. But anyway. What? Like, I don't see it. Anyway, somebody took the Berlanga clip and talk about, oh yeah, I knew he was gonna lose once I saw him doing this. And they showed the Berlanga clip where my boy was out here shaking ass. And Berlanga got smoked, man. Berlanga got smoked, bro. Damn, my boy got smoked, man. But yeah, they said, oh yeah, we knew he was gonna lose because of that. I said, come on. He said, Sheeraz looked like he had more power. Hey, I don't know. I feel like Sheeraz looked like he could just box better, man. I don't know if it looked like he had more power. It's just Berlanga just couldn't take well-placed shots, man. Couldn't take well-placed shots, man. Shout out to Berlanga though, man. I think he could bounce. I hope. Well, I don't know. I hope he could bounce back. I don't know if I think. Said Sheeraz like he had more power. Said laugh a lot. He said Shakur Bright like Stevenson is going to continue to air out the lightweight division as value. I'm not mad at that, man. Shout out to Shakur, man. He did his thing. Even if Berlanga fights a Wizard again, he's still gonna be me. He deserves it. Like I said, he came out with the Tommy gun, man, and talking all that trash, and then he looked like that. You can't do that, bro. So he deserves to be a meme, you know. I still rock with him, but he deserves to be a meme. People have been memes for less. So he deserves to be a meme. He deserves to be a meme. Yeah, I saw this. This is what I was talking about, clone. I mean, talking about she know what it is with her find that. I love that, man. I love, man. It's funny though. Well, I love, that's love, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta love. And that's one thing I like about Brian Norman Sr. Speaking about love, man. You can just tell that he's just so proud of his son, man. I don't know how people don't like Brian Norman, man. And Brian Norman Jr. You gotta love it, bro. Every time he talks about his son, you can just see he just lights up, and you can just tell, man. You can just tell, man. And you gotta love that. I don't know how people be hating on that, bro. You see Angel Reese on the feature Collier? Come on, man. What you know about this, chat? You know I be watching WNBA now. You know I be watching WNBA. You see Angel Reese getting loot. Where Clone at? This for you, Clone. They be talking about my dog Angel Reese out there looking like 2K. Come on now. Oh, in and out. Oh. Hey, hold on. You know who that is? That's the feature. I know y'all don't watch the women late. Y'all know. Shout out to the ladies. I know you don't watch basketball like that, but that's the defensive player of the year right there. The feature Collier. Okay, let's run that back. Oh. Hold on. Oh, look like Kyrie. That's AR or Kyrie. Hold on. Oh. That's AR or that's Kyrie? Yo, why is it freezing, chat? Bro, why is it freezing, bro? Yeah, she ain't supposed to be doing that. Oh, the camera can't even keep up. Oh, with the dream shake. Oh, hold on now. With the dream shake, chat. Oh, hold on. Oh, AI with it. Dream. Giannis. Oh, don't look at your hands like that. Don't do them like that, AR. Don't do him like that. Oh. Oh. Come on now. Yeah, man. So shout out to Average in the building. What's good, my brother? Big member in the building. This man said Wax City, bro. Y'all some haters, bro. Y'all some haters, man. One time for the ladies. Y'all some haters, man. Stop hating on the women, man. He said you said you be watching WNBA like that's a good thing. Queen Me Bound, like a Styles. Y'all some haters, bro. Y'all some haters, man. Yeah, Queen Me Bound. Hey, man. Shout out to her, man. That's a pimp player stuff, man. People hate on you, you know what I'm saying? You flip it and you copyright that thing. You feel me? But yeah, man. So I would say that speaking of Puello and Matias, I think that was the only robbery. But I'll take that. I think that was the only bad decision. I scored it 8 rounds to 4 for Alberto Puello over Subriel Matias, the Dominican Republic former WBC champion at 140-pound division. I thought that was a terrible way to lose. But Subriel Matias, he did bring the fight. You know, shout out to him, the Puerto Rican now champion again. Former IBF champion, now the WBC champion. I love him, you know. Dalton Smith came and tried to challenge him. Like I said, I personally have Alberto Puello winning 8 rounds to 4, reflecting the scorecard of 116-112. But it is what it is, man. I think that Puello, if you were gonna appeal it, I think you should appeal it. I ain't gonna lie to you. You should always use your resources to rectify injustice that was served. And I feel like that was a robbery. But hey, one robbery at a great night of boxing, great weekend of boxing, I'll take it. You know, so the only questionable results was Shadeja Green over Savannah Marshall. I don't think it was a robbery. It's a close fight, but I just didn't understand. I would love to see them scorecards. I still can't find them. The judges scorecards, and then Puello and Matias I think was questionable. You know, I mean, I think that was a robbery. I think Savannah Marshall and Shadeja Green was questionable. I think that it was a robbery for Puello and Matias. But it is what it is. You know, Dalton Smith hopped in the ring with Subriel Matias. I don't think Dalton Smith's really going to fight him. If he does, I think Subriel Matias is going to stop him. But that'd be a hell of a step up for Dalton Smith, and I love it. You know, I would like to see Subriel Matias and Gary Anto Russell for a unification fight between the WBA, WBC champions, you know, the American Gary Anto Russell and the American or Puerto Rican Subriel Matias. But if Subriel Matias wanted to go for a rematch against Puello, I'm cool with that. If Gary Anto Russell wanted a rematch with Puello, I'm cool with that. But I think that makes more sense for it to be a rematch if it's a unification. You know, and it's not right now. So there's some options there at 140, man. I love 140. His wife is hot. Hey, man, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. That was my first time seeing his wife. His wife is bad now. Shout out to Derek Lewis, man. One time for love, man. Yeah, his wife definitely was definitely a pretty. He said Clarissa Shields beat up Remy Ma mentally, especially after Berlanga tapped his gloves. Bro, I told you, bro. I said that was a bad omen. It's like when Tank came out with Jim Jones and Joel Santana. He ain't even come out with the full Dipset. It was a bad sign when he was coming out for Lamar Roach. This was a bad sign that Edgar Berlanga came out with Fat Joe and Remy Ma. Not necessarily Fat Joe, but Remy Ma, man. That was a bad look. Will you stream both Usyk and Dubois with Manny and Bart? Come on, man. Of course, I'll be live. He said, I want my wife next. I'm going to be a ton of ground and pound. Crazy. This Saturday, we gave one great card, PBC, one good card, Matchroom, and an undisputed fight. Come on now. Ulster said, Dub, what's good, homie? What it do? Oh, yeah, I know you joking, Styles. I know you joking. He said, the Dream Shake. Did you say Dream Shake? Yes, bro, Dream Shake with the milkshake. You know what I'm talking about? The Dream Shake with the milkshake. Queen Me Bounds in the building. I do use trolling, Styles. Come on now. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? You see all that shake back there, boy? I'll just play. But yeah, man. Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, I definitely think that, you know, while I was going for Berlanga, he deserves to be a meme. He was talking too much trash. He got Frank Warren talking about he's the king of New York. You better be careful. They run down on Frank Warren, old ass. Talk about the king of New York. You better be careful with that. But yeah, man, Sheeraz deserves to be wherever he's at and get whatever he gets. That was a great win, man. But Shakur is the man of the night. Who do I think was a fight of the night, though, chat? I definitely think I called Savannah Marshall, Shadeja Green. That was a fight of the night. That was a great fight. So I think I was right about that. But the performance of the night for me for the women's on Friday was Sherneka Johnson, Sugar Neeks, a.k.a. Sugar Cheeks, against Sharetta Chicken Metcalf. I think that that was a performance of the night on Friday. She's undisputed now. Shout out to the Australian champion, Sherneka Johnson. The next day, Saturday, I think that the best fight, man, it's tough, man. Because I think Sheeraz got performance of the night, but you could argue that Shakur because Shakur and Zepeda, they're high level competition. They should have been the main event. I could argue that was performance of the night, but definitely fight of the night, Shakur and Zepeda. Pueblo Matias was also a challenger for fight of the night, but I'm going with Shakur Zepeda for fight of the night. And performance of the night, I think it's between Shakur and Sheeraz, but I'm leaning towards Sheeraz just because it was such a devastating knockout. You know, he had Berlanga, man, ready to go right now. He said, I'm ready to go right now. He said, but I told you Berlanga's a hype job. I never said he I saw a root from a boy. I never said he wasn't necessarily a hype, man, you know, because he doesn't have any quality wins. So I never said he was a hype. Now, but I was wrong. I called Berlanga. I'm wrong about that. I got a couple fights wrong this week, didn't I, Oster? I got Sheeraz. I got Edgar Berlanga wrong. I got Morel right. I got Shakur right. I got Berlanga wrong. I got Pueblo wrong. I said I had Pueblo over Matias. I got that one wrong, even though I think it was robbery. I got Savannah Marshall wrong. I picked her over Sajasia Green. I definitely got Katie Taylor right. I got Alicia Baumgartner right. I got Sharetta Metcalf. Bro, I got a couple. Hey, I got a couple wrong now. I picked Sharetta Metcalf to beat Shreneka Johnson. I got that one wrong. And I got quite. Hey, this was a bad week for me, chat. This is a rare occurrence. This is a bad week for me. This is a bad week for me. So he says Zepeda and Shakur was both guys. I'm in. Yeah, man. He opened it. I already opened up the Discord, man. He call in. I'm about to get off soon. He says Shakur is definitely not the best lightweight. Stop the cap, sir. I mean, I'm gonna need you to open up your ears. We've been on stream for 2 hours. You can't just hop in the show and think you know what the fuck is going on. So you stop that cap. You know what I'm saying? We did a whole show. So if you want to go off, if you want to go to the movies and read a title and think that you watched the whole movie by watching the title, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying? That's a fundamental, shout out to Sugar-Free Bars, but that's a fundamental mistake that you are missing in life, sir. You can't read a title of a book and think that you know the contents. I mean, that's just, they taught us that in elementary. So, you know, but to address it, I'm not mad at anybody that thinks Shakur is the best lightweight. I personally go with Tank, but I'm not mad at anybody. Shakur deserves that distinction right now. That was a hell of a win and a hell of a performance. I couldn't believe you picked Berlanga. Chill out, bro. Chill out, bro. He said, I sent you $2 for your judge classes. Where? I missed the super chat? My bad. Did I miss a super chat? I apologize, bro. Oh, you hit me on my phone on the Cash App joint. Yeah, pull up, Oster. Pull up. I want to hear, you know, hey, bro, you know, I'm going to get off soon, but I love to hear the, I didn't, you must have said it to the wrong person unless my Cash App just tripping. I didn't get anything, but thank you though for the thought. But no, I didn't get anything, Oster. Maybe my Cash App is tripping. I don't know. I didn't get anything. He said disappointment. Edgar Shakur performance fight of the night. Pueblo Matias Serrano. Oh, no, don't delete this comment. Nah, let them talk. Let them talk. We let people talk and be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Don't delete. Oh, it was accidental. Okay. Hey, my bad, Sugar-Free Mars. One of my mods accidentally timed you out. They didn't mean to do that. Sorry, brother. Or I don't know if it was a timeout or a delete of a message. I'm not sure. I can't see. I think it was just a deleted message. He didn't mean to. I'm gonna read your message anyway. I can still see it. He said, one different performance and beating someone that is tailor-made for you does not make you become the best. Once again, I mean, you're still being on silly stuff. So maybe you deserve to be have your message deleted because you're continuing your idiocy. You know what I'm saying? I love how people go and they watch you know, like we what was that Infinity War? Remember on the trailer they had the Hulk running through Wakanda. Remember that? And then you watch the movie and the Hulk is never in Wakanda. Remember that? Remember it was actually just Bruce Banner in the Hulk Buster suit. So did they lie to you, or did you just think that you watched the movie by watching the trailer and the title? You don't know what's gonna happen, bro. That's the whole point. So like I just think it's funny that people will just assume that they know things from a title. I didn't say that I said that he's the best. I think he can be considered the best. What's wrong with that? You know, you're saying one performance for a guy that's tailor-made to you. If you're not impressed by Shakur beating Zepeda and you think that he was tailor-made for Shakur, I mean, he could have beat Shakur, right? So if he would have beat Shakur, or is he tailor-made for you? Those are contrasting styles. Shakur versus Zepeda was the epitome of contrasting styles. Right or wrong? I think that's right. So we love when contrasting styles fight each other. That's called styles make fight. So if you can't give Shakur credit for beating Zepeda, and you're trying to reduce it to he was tailor-made for him, then that means that you just don't really appreciate boxing, and we don't like boxing the same. You may be infatuated with a particular boxer. That's cool. That's how you enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't just watch Tank Davis. Tank Davis is one of my favorite fighters, but I also watch Shakur Stevenson. I could appreciate his greatness as well. I could also appreciate Raymond Murataya, or I will also watch Subro Matias and Alberto Puello. So some people's fandom for boxing is encompassed in one boxer. I can't relate to that. So I think Tank is better. I think Tank is the best. But if you can't give Shakur credit for beating Zepeda, then that means you will never give. Even if Shakur beats Tank, you'll probably say that there was something wrong with Tank. You know what I'm saying? So this is a great performance, and he deserves all of the love that he gets. He probably deserves more, because Zepeda was a great victory for anybody. I don't care if Tank beats Zepeda, Raymond Murataya beats Zepeda. I don't care if Zepeda beats Zepeda. That's a great win for the person that beats William Zepeda. So I don't know. Shout out to my guy, Hill Bainey. Hill Bainey in the building. Hey, shout out to Hill Bainey. Yeah, we got to start giving these fighters the love. If we're gonna critique them, we should also give them their compliments as well. That's all that is. Unfortunately, Tank ain't happening, but the kid Austin will be a good fight. I got Shakur. Shout out to my guy Oster dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Right, that's crazy. If anybody can't give people his credit for, you can't give people credit for beating Zepeda, who's an undefeated, a high knockout ratio, former undisputed mandatory challenger in the WBA, WBC, WBO, and IBF at the same time, simultaneously. He was the #1 guy. You can't give him credit. How can you give Tank credit for Frank Martin? How can you know what I'm saying? And I give Tank credit for Frank Martin. I think Frank Martin, you could argue, could possibly be a better win than Zepeda. I disagree, but you could make an argument, right? But if you don't, I don't understand that, you know. And they say he's tailor-made. I mean, that's like someone saying, "Oh, Frank Martin is tailor-made for Tank." No, I mean they're good guys that fought, and Tank came out on top. He said judging classes. Yeah, that's not. I'm not in that business, man. Like I said, I have no problem telling people who I like. I like Tank better than Shakur. I think he is better than Shakur. I think he has a better resume than Shakur. But that doesn't mean I'm not capable of giving Shakur his proper respect. That's crazy. he literally just beat Zepeda. Zepeda is the best contender in the 135-pound division. In fact, some people had Zepeda ranked higher than guys that were champion. The Ring Magazine did. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if they changed it. The Ring Magazine had Zepeda, which I thought was very disrespectful. I think that you shouldn't ever rank contenders higher than champions. I think that the first 4 spots should be the 4 champions, in my personal opinion. But some people don't respect champions for whatever reason. But if I'm not mistaken, I think the Ring Magazine had Zepeda ranked higher than in the lightweight division than some of the champions. Am I tripping on that, chat? I don't think I'm tripping. Let's see. Hopefully they didn't update it yet. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. #1 is Gervonta, #2 Shakur, #3 Zepeda. He's over Murataya. But beating him is not impressive. Beating him doesn't get you in conversation with being the best lightweight. That's what we doing? That's crazy. So the #2 guy being the ranked #3 guy doesn't get you in the conversation to potentially be #1. I'm not saying he is. I actually think Gervonta's better. But to make it seem like it's not a conversation to be had is crazy. And utterly ridiculous. To be honest, it's almost stupid. It probably is stupid, to be honest. It probably is stupidity. I ain't gonna lie. I told you, you knew people were going to react like this now. Well, you know, I don't want to, but that's the thing, you know, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, you know. I'm here to educate, you feel me? So yeah, we know people are going to do that, but that shouldn't be the norm. That shouldn't be the norm. So this man's name is Attention Seeking Mars. Hey, shout out to the Attention. Is this the same person? What was it before? Sugar something. Now it's Attention. Hey, at least you know who you are, man. I gotta give you love for that. He said, I wouldn't think something was wrong with Tank if Shakur beat him. Okay, cool. I personally know that Devin Haney is still the best in the entire sport. Shout out to you. Hey, shout out to Devin Haney. I disagree with that too, but hey, I'm not mad at that. I don't think that's crazy either. I mean, I think it's wrong, but I don't think it's crazy. I think it's erroneous. I think it's inaccurate, but I don't think it's crazy. He absolutely annihilates everyone from 135 to 160. Gosh, dang, from 135 to 168. Yeah, you trolling. Yeah, you trolling. Hey, shout out to Attention Seeking Mars, bro. You're definitely trolling, bro. Yeah, you're definitely trolling. He said Haney beats everybody. No, sorry. Let me not misconstrue your words, brother. He said annihilates everyone from 135 to 168. Devin Haney does? Damn. Bullshit. And that's Ty's alternate account, bro. Hey, call in, Oster. Don't call in when I'm about to leave. Now I'm staying on for you to call in now. That's Ty's. Please let him live. Don't ban him, man. Shout out to you, but hey, thank you for coming and giving me a good laugh, man. I appreciate the take though, you know, and definitely, hey, call in. Attention Seeking Mars, formerly known as Sugar Free Mars, formerly known as AKA Ty Morissette. Let me stop. I'm just playing. That's not Ty. Ty don't say nothing ridiculous, but yeah, I don't think I mean, I'll talk about it again. Let's talk about it, right? Like I said, I think that Tank has a clear better resume than I think Devin Haney, you could argue, has the best resume. So I could agree with you there. And so like that's what I'm saying. I like to pull out the substance. I know some people get a little wild and get a little emotional, get a little facetious in their speech. And I like to pull out the substance. What is substance? Substantial that you said is that Devin Haney should be considered one of the best. Facts. He's the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era on the male side. I'm not mad at that at all. You feel me? But that doesn't do it alone for me. Accolades, I love accolades, you know, and I predicate a lot of my assessments off of accolades and achievements. But Devin Haney's best win is, I would say Lomachenko, great win. George Kambosos twice, great. You know, and I don't hold the Ryan Garcia debacle against him because that dude was a cheater, and anybody that pops PD should be banned from the sport for a lot more than just 1 year. So that's definitely a no contest, and he gets an excuse. He gets a reason, not an excuse, because that sounds like has a negative connotation, but there's a reason why we wouldn't count that, because he faced a cheater.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
So shout out to Devin Haney for that, and shame on Ryan Garcia. However, still, you know, Devin Haney, I don't think he beats Shakur. I don't think he beats Tank. I think him and Teofimo's a good fight. I think he beats Teofimo. But I don't think, and Ryan Garcia, I'm gonna be honest, I put money on Ryan Garcia. I didn't know Ryan Garcia was gonna cheat. I didn't know he was gonna come in overweight. I thought that Ryan Garcia was gonna be Devin Haney, because Devin Haney had, up until that point, he had a recent history of fighting guys that were older than him, smaller than him, and less physically imposing than him. Ryan Garcia was the opposite of that. He was the contrary. He was just as young as him, just as big as him, if not bigger, and he was just as strong, if not stronger, obviously stronger, right? But then he popped PED. So I actually won money by putting money on Ryan Garcia. So what I'm saying is that if I put money on Ryan Garcia to beat Devin Haney, then that should let you know that I don't think Devin Haney is the best. I think that he was more so a beneficiary of wise and strategic game planning, you know, and that's dope, because it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to knock him for that. I'm saying that I'm applauding him and Bill Haney for that, because you could be as selective as you want. You still got to go in there and get the job done. So you could go in there and direct your career on a certain path, or have a certain, you still have to match that trajectory, you know, and Devin Haney has matched it up until the time he didn't, and that was because the dude was cheating. So his Regis Pro Grade performance was awesome. His Jose Carlos Ramirez performance was not entertaining, but it was awesome. He washed him. He washed a former Olympian, former unified champion, with the trainer of the year in his corner, in Robert Garcia, in Jose Carlos Ramirez. Nothing but props. But the way that he fought that fight is why I think that he's also going to lose to Brian Norman Jr. if that fight happens, which I don't think will happen. And I also want to show you this, man. Shout out to Mars, man. You know, that just brought me to this. I want to show y'all this. It's so funny because like I said, y'all know I really pay attention to this, man. And I appreciate y'all rocking with me and appreciating the work I put in. But it's so funny when people say the same thing that I say. And look at, here's an example of somebody saying the exact same thing that I said in regards to the Devin Haney and the potential Devin Haney and Brian Norman fight. Let's check it out.
Can't imagine the camp is comfortable enough to take this fight. And so I'm going to go on record for saying this. I don't think the fight happens.
What did I say, chat? I said I don't think that Haney and Norman happens. Sean Porter saying the same thing. Hall of Famer, former champion Sean Porter.
I think that there's going to be something within the Haney camp that prevents this fight from happening. I'm not saying they're ducking.
What did I say, chat? I said I'm not saying that somebody's ducking. I'm not saying Haney's ducking. I'm not saying Norman's ducking. I'm saying somehow, some way, I don't think this fight's going to happen. I've literally said this verbatim. Am I lying, chat? Multiple times. When the fight was very first announced, I said the same exact thing. Okay.
Brian Norman Jr. But what I am saying is that this don't make sense to me. It's just something that I don't know how it makes sense for Haney, for the Haney camp. And I think that they're going to maybe realize something, and something's going to happen. They're going to end up backpedaling out of it.
I said the same exact thing. And I also doubled down and I said that I even added further specificity. I said that I think it's going to come from the Haney side. I don't think it's going to come from the Norman side. I think it's going to come from the Haney side. Now, whether you want to debate if it's going to be a legitimate reason, that's on you. But I don't think the fight's going to happen. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. And if it does happen, I have Norman. Dub is in this. Yeah, this is the last one, man. I'm about to get off, bro. You taking too long. I ain't gonna hold you. We gonna get the next one, man. I stream a lot. So, shout out to my brother Dub in the building, man. Talk to me, bro. My guy.
There you
My brother, man. What's popping, man? Good to hear from you, man.
What's going on, man? Shout out to everybody.
Hey, shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the replay realm. I missed Oscar was on earlier, so I'm behind. But man, what a night of fights, man. That was crazy.
Great, man. Awesome night of fights.
I'm not gonna mention Berlanga, man.
Nah, mention him, bro. He deserved it. He put out the Tommy gun, man. He deserved it, man. He had the Gatling gun, the Tommy gun, the Smith & Wesson, the Desert Eagle. He had all types of guns. They had no gun. He went in there strapless in the ring, man. Pre-fight, he had all the guns, man.
Man.
Yeah, he was John Wick with the guns, man.
Oh man. Hey, that was amazing card too, man.
Oh man, fantastic card.
Yeah, I had went on Friday night on the all ladies and we were in the bullpen. And Clone was like, hey, and Kendo was like, yeah, tell me your picks so I can go against you. So I got all my picks off in advance, so I'm happy, man. I haven't been 5-5 like this in a while, including the UFC. But Zepeda, Shakur was fire. Matias, Puello, fire. I can't wait to rewatch it.
Facts, man. I got to rewatch it again, man. And shout out to you, shout out to Dub, man. I give my boy Dub, man. I give him a lot of flack, man. I talk a lot of trash with him when he's sour behind picks, but he did his thing, man. We got to give credit where credit is due, man. My boy went crazy this weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? I think he did better than me, man.
I did good. I did, Serrano. I was going for Serrano, but it is what it is. But I did pick Green, and I was in the back room. But all fun. You know how we do.
Yes, sir. Fun, yes, sir. Shout out to my guy Dub, man.
Zepeda, man, that was because I think we had said it earlier. He's gonna come out blazing. He did. I mean, you can tell it was a legit. He tried. I mean, he came out. Shout out to Shakur too. Yes, to stand there and to do what he does right in the middle. I mean, both of those guys. I can't wait to rewatch it.
Yep.
And you had. Hey, Sheeraz did pretty good too. I mean,
yes,
and Berlanga, it was an entertaining show. I know people don't like they were the main event or whatever, but you gotta look at the location. You gotta look at what it's at stake. The fights are happening. At the end of the day, the fights are happening. Yeah, boxing is winning this year again. So it's like, dang. Yeah, my favorite fighter be losing, Fury, these guys, they be losing it. It is what it is. But you know what's crazy though? And you know this, Doc. They be fighting though. They fight the best. You ask them to fight the best, they lose. Zepeda fighting the best. So we know, the guy, Ty, Oscar, they were saying, hey, we found out, because they were saying it all last year too.
Yep.
Zepeda's not the one ducking. So he wanted to fight.
Yep.
So it's not the fighter all the time. We really need to get off these and be like, hey man, he wants to fight. They don't care. He got 30 knockouts.
Right.
What is he? He's got a really good high chance. He got 28, 29 knockouts, 27, whatever it is. Out of 35 fights, that's a high knockout ratio. Yes, he's fighting. He wants to fight the best. And you never know. You might even get a Roach or a Tank fight after this. Zepeda.
Hey, you
So
never
you
know. Facts.
might work out for you, you know. So Shakur did well. His Adams family's hands, you know, held up. Da-da-da-da. Yeah. So yeah, my guy.
Not the Adams family has. That's crazy, bro. Shout out to my guy,
Yeah.
Dub, man. That's a fact, though, man. Yeah, you never know what could happen. It could bounce back. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and man, Morrell too. Yeah, you were right too. You guys were
Thank you,
calling. He's
brother.
playing around a lot.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, shout out to Morrell for fighting a guy on the known juice, man.
Stupid ass Morrell. I ain't shouting him out.
No, but at the end of the day, I
You got the
mean,
fight,
imagine if you,
Yeah.
yeah, if he would have called off or
Right.
you know said I'm not
Right.
doing it.
Right.
You know, he had a lot of people. He got a country watching. You
Yep.
know,
Cuba. Yep. You're right. I
a lot
give
of
him that.
yeah, he got country watching, and he got people here, basically another, you know, the other part of his country
Yep.
watching.
Yep.
Then he got a lot of fans from his last fight because that was a banging fight too.
Mm-hmm.
So then he was in two solid fights, man, really big fights, and he came out with it. I think it was I think he did a lot more than what people were saying, but the commentary was awful.
I'm so glad I don't listen to that nonsense.
Was awful. Ty did call that in the back room on Friday about the green card, about the cards you were asking. So yeah, the green Marshall card.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, what was this scorecard? I was like, but I had her winning. She took center.
Wait,
Marshall was
you saw the judges' scorecards?
No, Ty, we were
not the ending. I'm talking about like the individual rounds, like the full scorecards. I'm talking about. That's what I'm looking for.
No,
yeah, I can't.
I did not, but I was in the bullpen with Ty, and he, while it was happening, he was mentioning it.
Okay, so yeah,
So
I got to tell him to hit me up then because I couldn't find them. I mean, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I need to see the round by round scorecards on that because.
Yeah, he might not have the round by. Well, he probably does now. Knowing him, he has it all now. But real time, he was responding to it. So he had asked me, "Hey, hold on a second." Like, I was like, "Okay," because we were all in the back. Kendo, Clone, Irony, we were all in the back. But he was like, "Hey, that card looked a little weird."
Yeah.
So we called that. That was good. Yeah, Green did real good. She was getting hit. She's gonna have to work on. She was getting hit. I mean, I guess that was Marshall's plan. You know, hitting Marshall's plan. That's crazy. Hitting the yeah, I know. You know.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
That's funny.
So yeah, hitting the back of the ear. You know, it's good, right? To get hit on the ear and the back of the ear. It's legal. So you could see Shaduja's ears. So that means she was leaning forward a lot. And Marshall was leaning forward, but she was hitting behind the ear. But those things she'll work on. I think they'll fight again. That was an amazing fight.
I
Big
like
girl.
that fight again.
That was big girls. I wouldn't mind seeing
that
again.
I wouldn't mind seeing it either.
And real quick, I noticed like Zepeda, he was doing good, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, we were talking in the chat.
Yeah.
Zepeda was doing good. The only issue that he had, once I started seeing, because he started so hot, when you do that, there's only one way to go, and it's kind of downward. Same thing like Matias, right? You start off so blazing, and there's nowhere. It's only the human body. It's got to go downward. Then you'll have little spurts in between, but you know that was it. Once I started seeing Zepeda, back foot started getting a little weird. I was like, oh, he ain't gonna make it. But super impressive, man. I'm definitely not throwing Puelo in the trash. Definitely not throwing Zepeda in the trash. Definitely not. Some guys are high level. They went in there. They signed it. They fought it. If I'm Matias, I stay away from Puelo on the second one because Puelo was hitting him with some clean.
Man, he better stay away. He better stay away. For real.
Yeah. I know you see Tank didn't say much about those other fights. He was kind of, on Berlanga pretty much.
Yeah.
If I was him. Oh yeah, I'll let you guys go.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to pull up. I'm gonna try to pull up Oster, and then he said not me. You said it like 3 times. Thank you, Oscar. Oh no, Oster gone because Oster don't know how it's been operating lately. I guess he be in the chat, but he don't be in the chat. So I don't
Nah,
know.
Oster's in a slump. Oster's in a slump right now. He ain't got nothing to say. He's trying to hold on.
Shout
He's
out to
trying to hold
Oster.
on to September, man. He's seen Terrence Crawford's interviews, man. He breathing heavy already, man.
I'm
Just
telling
walking
you, bro.
around.
Oster, I was
Bro,
about to
that's
pull
too.
you up, man. I've been doing one at a time for the longest. I don't know where you been at, bro. I don't know. I seen you in there, brother. Yeah, I was gonna pull you. I was gonna let Dub get his stuff off, and then I was gonna pull you up, Oster. I don't know, but now you gone now, so go ahead, keep cooking. You can get Oster's time. I'm about to
Okay.
go
Yeah,
slide
let
this
me know
food.
if you cut me off. Jeopardy.
Yeah, keep
Yeah.
going.
So yeah, man, Terrence Crawford he just looked a little too muscular in there, man. He might gas, man. I'm telling you. It's gonna be a banging fight, though. Yeah, I just think they're gonna do the because if you look at how it plays out, same style, Sweet Pea Whitaker versus Julio Cesar Chavez, that was a draw robbery. Same styles. Southpaw versus, that's how it was. And then you look at Sweet Pea versus Oscar De La Hoya, and Sweet Pea knocked him down, and they robbed him straight away. So you look at those fights as the similar styles and everything like that.
Yeah.
Even Sweet Pea versus Tito Trinidad, again, of course, he's Puerto Rican, different scenario, but he definitely lost that fight. He got dropped, I think, too. Sweet Pea got dropped.
Yeah.
But he was a little older, but you can see the sequence and the scenario. Of course, Sweet Pea and Bud are similar. I'm just saying, of course, I think Bud has more pop, but
right.
Yeah, I don't like the way where you put on muscle mass and then your blood and your muscle.
Exactly. I'm telling you, I got Canelo, man, but I could be wrong.
And how you beat that when you see guys do that, right? In the gym, you've boxed before. What you do is those muscular guys, it looks like they have a lot of defense in the body because they look so chiseled, but actually if you attack it, you'd be amazed how
that thing will break.
the internal organs go the other way.
Exactly. Well, yeah, shout out to Doug, man. I appreciate you coming and sharing your 2 cents, man. I appreciate that, bro. I'm gonna pull up Oster, and thank you again, man, for all the love and support, my brother.
Absolutely.
Shout out to my guy Doug. Peace. Yes, sir. My brother Oster in the building, man. What's good, bro? I'm about to put on the clock on your ass. You about to get 3 minutes, cause you wildin'. He said, shout out to Dooley. Oster on mute. You on mute, bro. He said, that's why I keep a dad bod. It's crazy. You better. No, you're not. You better, hey, that's why you keep a dad bod by behind. You better get out that dad bod. You better go hit a couple crunches. Stop playing strange.
Man, what you talking about, Doc?
My guy, Oster, what's good, man?
What's up? And why you sound quiet? What I'm doing? Because, listen, let me explain something to you. Doc. I know, hey Doc. I know it's killing you, Doc. I know it's killing you, Doc. I know it's killing you. Yeah, Doc. I know every Doc. I know every punch. Yeah, Doc. I know every punch and every Mayweather move. Shakur did yesterday. I know you was tight. I know you was in there like this. Like I hope one of these niggas, I hope boy, because you know I was coming for you, Doc. I'm telling you right now. Now, boy.
Oh my
I said,
gosh.
yeah. Now I'm just fucking with you. No, but I'm telling you, man. Nah, for real. I got to give my man his flowers. I don't give a fuck. When I call it and win, I told you Berlanga ass was getting beat up too. I told you that. I said that shit. I said he getting beat up, dog. Y'all think it's a game? He getting beat up. I said Sheeraz gonna beat him up because he be counting in Berlanga. Oh, that nigga been at a party since he was in the training camp. There's no way he gonna win. He was at the party and everybody else fight. Everybody fight. Niggas everywhere. I said this guy's crazy.
You ain't lying. He was everywhere. You ain't lying about that.
He wasn't in the gym. You see when he's in. You see when he's in the gym. You see the shit he was doing. Right, show the video, Doc. You see the shit he was doing.
Oh man, poor Berlanga, bro. Hey, oh man. Nah, man. Why my boy go out like that, man? Looking sad.
Come on, man. Yeah, listen. We talking about Shakur. Fuck that. We need to talk about Berlanga. Let's. What he doing today? How his morning went today? Yeah, how was his morning? You know what I mean? How was his morning?
Yeah, Berlanga, man. I don't know. He probably still in bed, sleep, trying to hope it's a dream. You know them days, man. You like, dang, man, was it really a dream or did that really happen? I hope it didn't happen, but it's reality, brother.
Yo,
dang.
Doc, I think that everybody, all jokes aside, it's gonna be some hate. But if people want to keep it 100, if they want to keep it real, they got to give Shakur all his props. Because this was the one. This was the one. They said about all other fights, but this was the fight that everybody was like, "Yo, okay, yeah." You know, he's talking about the ring, smaller ring. You know me. I go back to the media presence now. Let's go back to the media presence. After the fight is the fight. The media Shakur, he said exactly what he was going to do because he said, "You know something? I know what he's going to do."
Yep.
See, the whole big thing was it wasn't what Zepeda was going to do. It was what Shakur was going to do. That was the elephant in the room.
Yep.
He showed her exactly what I
do. That's a great point.
Yeah, he showed her exactly what I will do. Exactly. He stood there. He stepped to the side 2 feet, crowd went crazy. They like, damn, it's like they had a automatic section that just say, boo, when he stepped to the side.
Yep. Probably Mike Coppinger. Probably Mike. It was probably a button. It was probably a button Mike Coppinger was pushing.
I swear to God, you know that button you got to make people clap. They have to have a button over there, man.
Yeah, facts. I agree. Probably.
And I just like it when what I really like is that when you're a real good fighter, then you get treated as you're not a good fighter. All your greatness get demeaned in some kind of way. They find anything. I don't give a fuck. They're gonna find something. But what I do appreciate is when you overcome all of it.
Yep.
And you come out and win.
Yes, sir.
That's the whole objective. You come out and win. That's the whole objective.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm saying, when people talk about Shakur, if they don't talk about Shakur good into his next fight, this is how you could tell good haters. These is good haters. These are good haters.
Facts.
Yeah, these are good haters. These are good ones.
I agree with that. Shakur shouldn't have nothing about his performance or nothing about no questions. Like he should have no questions right now.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
No question.
And if they was talking about that Tom and Jerry, they tried to act like it was for Shakur, but Devin Haney, whatever it was wiped away now. It's all wiped away. He might have wiped a little bit off of Dad for that. I'm telling you, it's wiped away. So you can't talk that Tom and Jerry. Now you're gonna have to specify who you're talking about when you say Tom and Jerry now. You just can't say Tom and Jerry no more. We need some names. Who you're talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah, we need some names. Who you're talking about? We need some names because it ain't him.
Yep, the no running rule. Like you said, we need to know who you're talking about. I agree with that. All that
we
stuff.
need some names now.
They're gonna come up with something else. They're gonna come up with something else.
Of course, you know that. Of course.
That's crazy.
Yo, the hands is featherweight and all that. Like I say all the time, you don't have to have power. You need to get points to win. You can have a baby hand. As long as you touch the face, it's a point.
Yep.
As long as you touch the face, it's a point. No matter how your hand get there, if you get on that body anywhere, it's a point. You can have feather hands.
Yep. And this is why I don't like what the dude. I took exception with the dude that came in talking about tailor-made. The reason why I don't like people saying somebody's tailor-made for him, that's implying that he should knock him out. You know, and I don't think that he should. And it's also implying that he should just not even struggle. That's what tailor-made means. Edgar Berlanga had 16 fighters that were tailor-made to him when he started out his career. That's why he got 16 first-round knockouts. That's having somebody tailor-made. Exactly. Having somebody that has a contrasting style, that's the opposite of tailor-made. That means that this is the guy who's supposed to struggle, and Shakur didn't really struggle. You know what I'm saying? I did have the first 5 rounds. Like I said, I had him 1 round to 4 in favor of Zepeda, but other than that, I had Shakur figuring him out and watching him the whole way. So I don't understand how people say that tailor-made stuff is crazy, bro. Because that's what we're going to hear next. We're going to hear that, he should have stopped him. That's what we're going to hear next.
But you know something? I flip people shit on them. They say, yo, he was tailor-made. You're right, he was tailor-made. You're 100% right. You 100% right. That's why it was a good fight. If it wasn't tailor-made, it won't be a good fight unless you'll set it up. This is tailor-made. This style was tailor-made for a style like this in boxing. That's why boxing is about styles. So his style was tailor-made for him. Don't try to act like Zepeda's style was tailor-made for Shakur. No, Shakur's style was tailor-made for Zepeda. How about that one?
Right.
How about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that? It's tailor-made for both of them, they got 2 different styles.
Yep, I agree.
Now, tailor-made,
that's a good point, man. Exactly.
Same style. Yeah, if you put them in the same style, you'll say that's tailor-made because that's what tailor-made is. But 2 different styles, that's boxing. You're right. You're 100% right. That's tailor-made.
The epitome of boxing.
The epitome of it. Both of them. The epitome. That's when I seen that fight, call me if I'm crazy, right? Because I be analyzing a lot of shit. So I'm looking at Shakur, right? And for some reason, I don't know why, Doc, I could be crazy. I was looking at Ali when he was in the corner with Frazier. When Frazier was throwing and boom, 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 and Ali, he thought he was doing something. Ali started jabbing him out the corner, boom, 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 and laughing at him and moving around. For some reason, I kept visualizing it. And I kept visualizing Floyd when I seen Shakur. I see Floyd and Ali in Shakur. in different times.
Yeah,
Swear to God.
I'm not mad. I don't think that's crazy. I mean, like I said, I think
When he blocking,
yeah.
Yeah, I swear to God. And when he punch, remember Ali used to punch and laugh at you like, he just turned into a beast when he throwing his punches.
Yeah.
He just turned when he throwing his punches. He be boom, 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 and you be like, oh shit, because you think you're doing something.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's what I was seeing in my head. I'm telling you, maybe I'd be crazy, but
I don't think that's crazy. I mean, I think they all have the similarities of having their game predicated off defense. They sometimes, and they also could go and be comfortable on the ropes where most people are uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? In positions where most people will be uncomfortable, they're so defensively sound that they look comfortable. So no, I don't think that's a bad assessment at all. I think I can see that.
And it don't make it, like I say, Shakur's a master class. It don't take nothing from Tank. It don't take nothing from Keyshawn. Nope. It don't take nothing from none of them. Nope. It don't take nothing from none of them.
Now
Shakur's just a master class. What he do?
Right. And I'm not saying this. I think that the people who would hear that, the Ali and the Floyd comparison, I think that it would sound crazy because if they're saying from an opponent standpoint, like Zepeda is a great opponent. But of course, like let's say like Frazier, Zepeda not as good as Frazier, or like even Floyd, he's not as good as Oscar. Zepeda's not as good as Oscar. So you know what I'm saying? So that's when people might push back. But for the context of which you're saying it, and if you don't try to take it somewhere else, now I think that's a perfect. I mean, what's wrong?
That's why I say. That's why I say it on this channel. That's why I won't say it on another channel.
Right.
I won't feel like going
I appreciate it.
none of that shit.
Yeah.
I was making a comparison when I was just seeing him fight. I was just seeing like.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how he handled the situation, his demeanor, and his reaction and his comfortability. Nah, I
think
that's a perfect. I mean, I think that's a perfect analogy in my opinion.
He climbed the boy to the top of the mountain, and he achieved it. You're trying to do everything in the world to make Shakur lose this fight. We need to go back to the press. Everything.
Yep. Yeah. Facts. Shrinking the ring. Tom and Jerry.
Shrinking the ring.
18,
wow.
Bro, they literally tried to change it to 18 by 18, but HAMZAH SHEERAZ didn't want it. Not if it was Shakur that didn't accept their terms, that would have been everywhere.
Shakur signed it though.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
Like 18, it don't matter. I'm gonna beat his ass anyway. It could have been 18 the way they fought. If you look at it, it could have been 18 because he stepped right there. He could have been 18. It might have been worse as a bait at 18. He better stop. He might have been. He probably wanted the 28 one, man.
Yes, sir. Man, I'm gonna go get me some food, bro. Your boy hungry, man. You know what I'm saying? Gotta give me some food.
No pizza, doc. No pizza, doc. No
pizza, bro. I appreciate. You're right, bro. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for calling in. Before you leave, though. Oh, no. Go ahead. I didn't hear you talk. Go ahead.
I was happy to see you yesterday. You said you was eating. I seen a fork in your hand. I said, okay, we got it together.
Yeah, at least you got a fork. Rice and some curry chicken and some potatoes and carrots. Yeah, I had a good, healthy meal yesterday. Appreciate it, bro. But I was gonna say to you too. I know I be joking a lot, but I would say that I'm doing like a little different format with the show. So like I had people call in one at a time, but then at the end of the show, if we have time and I'm still up for it, we have everybody join. You know what I'm saying? Like how we usually do. So that's all. I'll be trying to keep. That's all it was.
I was doing it. I was just when you said come in, I normally go in the member chat and just wait.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to
make sure. I didn't want you to think I was ignoring you. I know we like to joke. I know you ain't sensitive.
No. I was driving. I was in supermarket. I told you to hold on.
Bet. Okay.
I was driving it.
Because y'all be holding me down, man. So I don't want to make it seem like, just in case. You never know. But yeah, man.
Good. We grown men over here. Keep it safe, player.
Yes, sir, man. You too, man. God bless. I appreciate you calling in, man. Shout out to you.
One.
Yep. Shout out to my guy Oster. But y'all can stay in the back still. You know what I'm saying? Dub and Oster, y'all can chop. Y'all know what it is. Y'all ain't got to get my permission. BTF members only chat. That's a perk of being a member, man. When you're a member, the Discord is open. Y'all could just go back there in the BTF members only chat and chop it up. I don't need to be live or, I could be, I could be live or I could be off. I'll just chop it up, man. Don't forget to smack the like button, though. We had a good conversation, you know what I'm saying? The weekend review, the morning after, you know what I'm saying? The morning after, some pain, some punishment, some victory, some laughter, And the people that got the victory was Shakur. The people that got some pain was Zepeda. The people that got some laughter was Berlanga. Laughing at Berlanga, man. So, but yeah, man, we had a good set of fights, man. Shout out to all the members, man. Shout out to Dub that came through on the Discord. Shout out to Oscar that called in. Shout out to Oster that called in as well, man. And if you haven't done so already, man, consider becoming a member. It really turns us up, man. Keep us going and growing. Shout out to all the members that we have. Starting at only $3 a month, man. You can become a member and you get access to all these dope emotes. You get the perks like joining the Discord, and you won't have a time. You know, most people that call in, if you're not a member, we give you 3 minutes to say your piece. If you are a member, you get a longer period of time. You know what I'm saying? You get access to the best and most on boxing, and most importantly, you know, you also get access to the voice channel and the Discord, even when I'm not live. But most importantly, you get the satisfaction of supporting your boy, the best boxing channel on the way up. You know what I'm saying? We gonna speak it into existence. Yes, sir. We on that manifestation to be the best boxing channel on this thing called YouTube. You know what I'm saying? This platform everywhere, man. We're gonna be known globally, man. I see it, bro. God is good. He wouldn't have us do this if he didn't want us to excel. So whatever you're doing, make sure that you know that, man. You are supposed to excel, because if you have anything on your heart and in your mind and you have pure intentions, God wants you to do that. So remember that, man. On this beautiful Sunday, start off your week well, and the best way to start off your week is with the man above, man, with God. So please keep your head up, whatever you're going through. I know sometimes life gets hard, sometimes life gets difficult, sometimes life gets dark, but remember the happy times. Remember that you are strong enough, you are good enough, and if you wake up for another day, that means that your story is incomplete. And it's incomplete not because you're not capable, it's incomplete just because it's not finished yet and you have more to achieve. You know what I'm saying? And you give God the glory in the meantime, and that's the best thing we could do, man. Share our blessings with each other and bring others closer to God. So I try to do that through boxing. I do that through y'all, and appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. I really do. Don't forget to become one of the ones that have their notifications on. You know what I'm saying? Hit that notification bell, subscribe as well, but also smack that like button for your boy. That's free support if you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? That's free support. Smack the like button. But most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Oh, shoot, before I go, man, let me show some love to the people that show me love in the super chats. You know what I'm saying? Dropping that graffiti on the chat wall. Shout out to Dub, dropping the $5. Shout out to Oster dropping the $2. Oh, and shout out to my guy Clone dropping the $5. I forgot to address this one, man. Big $5, man. Dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Oh, this is a message from Club. This is a message from Clone to Dub. He said Dub owes me money because I bet against him. Trump's still on fraud. Hold on. He said Dub owes me money because I bet against him.
Yeah.
He said Trump's still on fraud watch.
Yeah.
And Doc, your picks are always wrong.
Yeah.
That's cap. You just said my picks are always wrong. That's a good old lie right there. That's bull. This man Clone a good hater though, man. He gonna hate and show you love at the same time, man. Shout out to my brother Clone, man. Doc, you probably was right though with your predictions. Finally, stop it, bro. Finally, The Rock has come back.
Shut up, bitch.
Finally right, boy. Stop playing with me, man. You know my predictions be on point, but I was wrong though. I took a lot of L's today. You know, I got Katie Taylor right. She closed out that series. I got who else? Alicia Baumgartner right. I got Chantel Cameron right, but I got Shadeja Green wrong, and I got Shadeja Green and that's another one. And Shreneka Johnson. I thought Shredder Metcalf was going to win. I got that wrong. And then I got Imam Khatat. I got David Morrell right. I got Puello wrong, but did I really get it wrong? We all think it's a robbery, but still, I got Puello wrong. The judges say Matias won, but I did get and I got I got Sheeraz wrong. Hey, this was a bad one. I ain't gonna lie. This was a bad week. Hey, this was a bad weekend for me and my prediction. So shout out to Chloe. You right this time, because I got quite a few wrong. I got let's run through it again. I got Shadeja Green over Savannah Marshall wrong. I got Shreneka Johnson over Shredder Metcalf wrong. I got HAMZAH SHEERAZ over Edgar Berlanga wrong. And I got Subaru Matias over Alberto Puello wrong. Damn. That's tough. I'm over here, you know, about, you know, hey, I'm well over par. But I appreciate y'all rocking as always, man. Like I said, don't forget to smack that like button and also share, man. Share. Follow me on Twitter, all Dr. Boxing Talk. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. That's free support as well, man. You follow those channels. That's how we get bigger. That's how we get interviews, man. People are superficial, unfortunately, in this life we live in. They don't look at the substance. They don't look at the content. They look at the titles and the numbers and stuff like that. So a lot of times when I reach out to fighters, I have to reach out to them via Instagram, via Twitter. So follow your boy's Twitter. You know what I'm saying? saying? Because when they look at the follow count, they be like, okay, bet this guy got a lot of followers, so we gonna respond and stuff like that. Some people have responded and stuff like that, but you know, people do look at the follower accounts on Instagram and Twitter, and that's how I reach out. So follow your boy on Twitter, follow your boy on Instagram. That's how we will be able to get and secure these interviews that y'all want us to get so badly. You know what I'm saying? We have 527 followers on Twitter. So go ahead, follow your boy on Twitter, man, for real. And on Instagram as well. Instagram is right there in the bottom left hand of your screen. Dr. PGNGM all over the place. I need to change that to Dr. Boxing Talk. But yeah, man, follow your boy, man. I appreciate y'all rocking. I'm out, man. God bless. The doctor's out. Ooh, I can't find it, y'all. I can't find it. Peace. There it is. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.